octopus is out of the picture. I'm peri-free for the rest of the day. I'm sans...
Ben, I want you to smell this.
Does it smell like chloroform?
Maybe.
Oh.
All right. Aiden, I want you to smell this. And pass it to Court.
Ah, yes, the coveted Barbie movie crossover.
Do you know what we're smelling, gentlemen?
What?
We are smelling the smell of victory.
Is that
The victory.
The smell of victory.
Really?
Okay. I guess that's there on the table
Rip
now.
Teddy Ursa.
Goodbye, Teddy Ursa.
it covered my link too.
He's now covered by victory.
Way to mess up the table. All right, do you know why we're smelling the smell of victory? Ben, actually, you would know. You should tell us. It's related to your news topic.
My news topic?
Yes. Why are we smelling the smell of victory?
Well, I wouldn't, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't consider it victory, considering what I put into the the agenda last week.
I suppose that's fair, but we have at least this much, you know? So go ahead and tell us.
Well, the
dots have connected.
armadillo won the mob vote.
The armadillo won the mob vote, ladies and
Well, but
gentlemen.
is that victory? That's a hollow victory.
That's a hollow victory.
It is a partial victory, and we will proceed to get the full
We
victory
were supposed
eventually.
to unite.
We are still united. I didn't go. I didn't cross the picket line.
you didn't
I didn't
vote?
vote. I didn't vote.
He didn't vote.
on the
I did
mob
not vote either.
But we still got the most useful of the three mobs for the first time in a long
Objectively.
time on the mob vote. That is a victory that I
Surprisingly,
feel like
the
celebrating.
penguin I read got the least amount of votes.
Yeah.
Before we go into news, let's actually welcome everybody to season 3, episode 5
Of Knights of the D-Pad.
Ben's back. He's returned.
I have returned.
Return of the King. Having 2 Lawrences on the set was enough for 1 episode. We can't do that more than once.
Though it was pretty fun. Like, not gonna lie, your brother was a good,
fits in
a
well.
good.
He
sub
is
for
a
an episode.
character.
He was good.
He's a character. We have the
And,
set mostly the same, so for the
Mostly
most
the
part,
same.
the
I mean,
general
we've added
foundation
some more decorations.
is the same, but the decorations are the same. You
Okay, yeah, he added a link.
He's admiring Link. But we're all back. All 4 of us were here.
Yep.
Hi.
We are here.
Is this the first time
And
this season that we've had all 4?
No, episode
No,
2 we had all.
we've had-
that's true.
only episode 2?
Or was it 3?
Oh,
It was 2
goodness.
or 3.
I don't know.
And episode 1.
have subs way
episode,
too often.
Episode 1, we technically had all of us.
For like half of it.
For half of it, and then you just left without us saying anything, and Jason came
You
in.
know, and then
So in a way, we had
episode
more than
2
all of
was,
Episode
like,
2,
I think, a campsite incident.
oh, was Michael.
Yeah,
So
that's
episode 3,
right.
we had everybody.
Yeah.
So we've had all of us for the full episode once.
Well, thus continues BYU's most scuffed podcast.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
You couldn't even say
Couldn't even
podcast. You
say
said broadcast.
It is a broadcast. There's a visual component.
No, it's a
Project
problem cast.
Oh,
problem.
that's what you mean.
Probcast.
Probcast.
Yeah.
Probcast.
And I guess should we make the announcement now about
Go
the
for it,
new
Kyle.
member who just joined our team? Would you like to come on set and say hi to everybody? We would like to.
It's Kyle's replacement, the unpaid intern for now.
She is joining our.
You'll be on the main camera angle.
Just
in
come.
editing.
Yes, say hi.
I'll leave it in post.
Well, not to me, to the camera. This is Lillian.
Kyle directly in the eye. Hello, Kyle.
I'm coming for your position, Kyle.
This is my official successor on the podcast. She'll be taking over my responsibilities as one of the hosts once I graduate, and is already doing some cool work running
She'll be running
the
socials
visuals
as
and social
Michael did.
stuff, just like Michael did before he
So
graduated.
she's Michael's replacement, eventually Kyle's replacement, and technically, I guess, my replacement for visuals.
She is
It's
too
And
powerful
then
to be
eventually
stopped.
we'll all be gone.
Well,
It'll just be
We'll all fade away
So
and it'll
one
just be
man
Lily.
It'll be Night of the D-Pad. Singular.
Singular night of the D-pad.
You ready?
The knighting ceremony will take place later, after this man has kicked the bucket and she's actually on set.
Yep.
She'll probably end up hosting at some point once, because one of us will vanish again for a week at some
Yeah,
point.
we'll be rotating her in just to get that experience and that practice.
So-
But she's pretty cool, and
your-
we're glad to have a new member on our
Did
team.
we ever actually say her name?
Yes.
Yeah, Lillian.
Lillian.
Lillian? Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if we actually put that in.
Well,
Guys, everyone, this is Lillian. Say hi.
All right.
All right.
And all right.
Telling the audience to say hi.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, audience member.
Anyway,
Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Say hi, Scott. Say hi,
Actually,
Scott.
did you guys notice we got a comment on our last episode on YouTube, and I don't think it was Scott's email.
No, they were probably my people.
Yeah, they might have been, because they were talking about a game in Jackbox Party Pack 8 that they say is great, but everyone sleeps on. So, yeah, we have more than Scott in our fan base.
They're
Confirmed.
probably my people. Probably.
I personally
just
sleep
Scott
on a
under-
bed.
Oh,
but
it's just Scott.
Scott under an alternate
All right.
account.
An email.
So, anyways.
I have 70 alternative accounts.
You fool! So, anyways, formalities, intros out of the way. Now, what?
Yes.
I just made a big noise to the...
whacked that mic.
We can now get into some news.
All right, so the armadillo.
Yeah, let's start with Minecraft.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's
so
Because I guess
begin.
the two of you together have...
We kind of have a little bit of the Minecraft 1.21 update.
Yeah,
But,
a little bit.
So
You tell us about
I
the
guess
armadillo.
I'll do the mob vote and the overall like audience and player based reaction to the update.
Yeah.
I think people are overall they're happy that the armadillo won, that people are excited about the wolf armor be able to.
Finally.
I've seen lots of people talking about how like you're never gonna even fight with wolves anyways, but I've been fighting with wolves for a long time.
I've always been fighting with
Oh
wolves.
yeah.
Like-
and even if you're not fighting with them, just having a dog following you around in Minecraft is an amazing feeling. So I want them to be protected one way or another.
I'm definitely hoping that they're gonna add some sort of system where you can have like the wolf armor, and if you put like an iron ingot or a diamond
Yeah.
or a netherite ingot in the middle, you can make it
Or
tiers
at
of
least
wolf
dye
armor.
it.
Or I think you...
Yeah, because we talked about that last time,
think we
dyeing
might
the
be able
armor,
to dye
or
it. I
maybe
don't
the
know,
time
though.
before. By the
Yeah.
way, dyeing the armor would be great.
The first step. But that'll require them to work. And we know that Mojang does. But a mod will do it.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a mod.
We'll certainly have mods.
There you go. And then, yeah, Kyle, what's coming? We got some stuff like a new
Yeah.
structure.
Lots of stuff coming.
There's quite a few new things. So let me pull up. I've got a list here of things that were that were announced to be added in the Minecraft 1.21 update. So here's some, like, honestly, although it's not a ton of content, I will say that the stuff they are adding is great.
I mean, just the new structure in itself.
The new structure
the
is
cool
actually great.
part.
It's called a trial chamber. You can see some pictures of it right here, or a singular picture of it right here on the screen. And essentially, these are a new type of dungeon in Minecraft. It's more like a proper dungeon instead of the single
Yeah,
room
literal
with
an
the spawner.
actual dungeon with
like with puzzles
and
and
all
traps and
kinds
stuff.
of
And
stuff.
they're making use of a lot of stuff with the copper blocks, which I think is fun, showing off like in the default like generatable terrain, the design benefits of using copper, which
I
I
think
very
they're
much
adding
like.
like 3 new copper blocks.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
adding new copper blocks. You
Adding
can
new
see right
copper
here these copper lamps, these lights. Let's see
that'd be
what's
good.
the actual name? Copper bulbs
As
is the
it
name.
stands, there's literally zero purpose for
Copper is
I
zero
feel
use,
like.
yeah. So now at
So
least they'll have some
copper,
decorative
copper is
in
aesthetic,
case
and it also has the spyglass that can let you look
Yeah.
further in the distance.
Yeah.
But like having copper lighting is now
You can now
Very
kind of
good.
build if you want to have a cyberpunk style.
Well,
kind of
and also
exactly,
with the
or
copper
steampunk electricity, you know.
With the copper lighting, you can affect the brightness by letting it oxidize.
Exactly.
And as it oxidizes, the brightness dims,
That's really good.
and
then
you
you
can
can-
set it with honeycomb.
Yeah, you can wax it at any point to get it set to a specific level. So you can have like very customized light levels using this. This actually has a decent amount of utility for decoration, for lighting, and it's used very intentionally here because like these trial dungeons, what are they called again? Trial
I
rooms.
think they're only lit by
The trial
copper
chambers are
lamps.
lit by the copper things, and they are dim because of the copper. And I think it'll only get dimmer as time goes by as they oxidize
oxidize.
naturally.
And then you got to
And
worry about
so-
the new mob, the breeze.
Yes, the breeze, which
that
is a
uses-
new
Yeah,
mob.
it uses like wind. It
Yep.
uses wind to
It's
attack you.
kind of like an overworld version of the blaze.
It's an
is the way
airbender.
that they describe it. It launches compressed
But
blasts
I
of air.
believe we can save the world.
The breeze could save the world. The Avatar crossover we've been waiting forever for.
But so it's like it. Apparently, it's like the wind, the ranged attack, like the wind burst or whatever, like doesn't deal damage, but it deals damage when you get thrown into something.
It,
Yeah,
it
the
deals
like,
damage
impact
if it
damage.
hits you,
It's a very
but
small
if it
amount.
impacts near you, you just get knocked
You get
away.
knocked away.
Yeah, and the idea is that it's supposed to throw you off of ledges or into traps
And I
because
think
there
it
are
can-
both of those
I think
in
it
these
can
areas.
interact. I remember reading that it can interact with redstone contraptions as
So-
well.
can.
So,
Where
yeah.
it lands, it impacts a little redstone signal.
oh,
And so, in like a little area around that redstone
Something tells me
activates.
that you're
and
gonna
so if
find it
there's
in a room with traps that can be activated by
Yeah,
it.
so-
Yeah, oh,
Traps,
definitely.
yeah.
in the bit like basically the dungeon what's it for? A breeze battle room, there are these little areas with trap doors in the floor.
Yeah.
And if you go over there and the the breeze hits you with the air blast, it'll open up those trap doors and you just fall through.
So it's pretty cool, and on top of that, there's another feature. They have a new type of spawner.
Yeah, the
that
trial
instead,
spawner.
The trial spawner, instead of just spawning mobs endlessly if it's dark enough, it will spawn a certain number of mobs and then go dormant for a while. And if you kill all of those mobs, it'll wait for a bit and then spawn another
And
wave of them.
it'll adapt to the number of players as
It
well.
will adapt to the number of players, which
interesting.
means you have like automatically adapting challenge levels
That's
designed to
really
be
cool,
just as
actually.
hard no matter how many people you bring to it. It's super cool. Honestly, I think this is one of the best features they've added
That's
in a
really
long
cool.
time. Like where was this the past couple of updates? You know, this is dope.
Yeah. When does this update come out?
I think next year sometime. I don't think they gave a date.
I don't think they have a specific date.
No.
Yeah.
Next year, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still Mojang. They did some cool stuff, but it's still Mojang. So
That's fair.
But I think the biggest thing that has been talked about for this update
is the crafter.
The crafter.
Yes, the first auto crafter
Auto-crafting.
in vanilla Minecraft. We have been modding this into the game in a million different ways for forever. We have been wanting something like this, especially when you're working on a huge project and you need to craft a bajillion of 1 or 2 specific items. We finally got it, boys.
Just redstones, hoppers, and you just feed it the items and feed it a redstone signal, and it'll auto-craft.
It'll auto-craft.
Yes,
it's beautiful.
but so I watched a video. There's this YouTuber called Mumbo Jumbo,
Oh, Mumbo Jumbo, yeah.
and he played with the crafter on a snapshot, and it looks fairly overcomplicated. Like,
Yeah.
so you disable slots on the the 3x3 crafting bench.
Oh, and you insert, yeah.
You disable slots, and then you have to make sure that the items go into
tell
in
it
the
which
proper
item, yeah.
sequence.
Oh,
If you
so-
want to make a diamond pickaxe, you
yeah, it
have to
doesn't
make
let
sure
you just say, I want diamond pickaxe, and it'll just craft them.
Oh,
you have
man.
to
you have to set up some sort of clock that will go stick, diamond,
yeah,
diamond.
instead of telling it what recipe to craft, you tell it what items to put where and when.
That
Which
is-
seems kind of goofy.
That is
It's
kind
kinda
of
goofy.
dumb. I mean,
Yeah.
like, we already have the thing where it's we in so many mods, just here's the interface, give it something on the crafting grid, feed it material.
We
Like,
already
if-
have the
if you
recipe
wanna-
book in the normal craft.
We even have the recipe book.
Yeah,
It's
it's like-
already there.
The crafting table does
utilize
a better
the
job at
recipe book.
automating than the auto crafter.
Yeah, I have a really nice client side mod that it makes it so that if you can select a little slider, and then if you just in the,
Yeah,
the
it'll
crafting
auto
book,
throw this-
you just click on that and it just
Fills it.
everything. Like if you want 1,000,000 sticks for farming emeralds,
million sticks.
you just
stick.
click on the sticks and just all of a sudden my inventory is filled with stick and I'm just shooting them
they,
out
they-
everywhere.
They did also say though that because of its overcomplicated nature, they'll like kind of take player feedback and adjust it as necessary. So
Yeah.
I don't imagine that
I think a
this
really
version
good
of it will be what
Yeah.
we get.
I think a really good version would be if you say you want to make a diamond pickaxe. What you have to do is it has a little slot on the side that you have to put a diamond pickaxe into. So you
As a
lose a
template?
diamond pickaxe, but you get a template that will.
I think that would make it.
That would be good.
that makes
I still would just prefer if you could just open it up. It has a crafting grid, and like say you want to make a diamond pickaxe, right? You take a diamond, you click across the top 3 with that diamond, you put it back in your inventory, you take a stick, you click the next 2 to make the shape, and then you just feed it diamonds and sticks, and it pops out as many as it can.
I think those work in similar ways. You either have the completed diamond pickaxe or you put the items needed.
I mean,
for...
I would even say just something as simple as you open up the little,
little
like the
recipe
the
book.
recipe book, and you just
It's just
select your
annoying
recipe.
trying to like
Maybe.
unlock recipes, but I,
I
guess
think
at
it's
that point
better.
we've
I think it'd be
already
better
unlocked
you
them.
just put the item that you want in there,
Yeah.
and it'll
Yeah.
just duplicate it. So,
But like, I guess there are still a few things that would be useful for, even if they kept this kind of dumb like way of it working. Is like if you wanted to craft like stone bricks. That's just stone.
It's just
you just
cobblestone.
feed in a whole
just
ton,
feed
not
in
cobblestone,
stone.
smooth stone.
Oh, smooth
You
stone.
just feed it a ton of that and it pops it out really fast. That's still useful, but I'm guessing we're going to see improvements that make it far more generally applicable, generally viable.
Yeah.
We're gonna have
One of the
it'll be
things
good
that
eventually.
Mumbo Jumbo was going over was dispensers.
Yeah.
Dispensers are a pain to make on
yeah,
large
and you
scale
have to use them to
because
drop
you
it in.
you have a bow, which is a necessary part of it that is a non-stackable item,
Yeah.
and so
Once it breaks, or you have to make new ones.
Well, you don't. They don't break in dispensers, but like for the number of dispensers you want to make, you need to dedicate a single inventory slot entirely
In the
to just
hopper.
one bow every single time. It
Well, just
occupies
don't
so much
mass
inventory
produce
space.
dispensers, I guess.
No, kidding. Mass producing dispensers are like great for
It
building
saves.
projects.
Well, no, but if you can't stack the bows, just don't worry about it.
Just go to creative mode.
There you go.
Or just play with mods instead.
Slash
I, like,
give bingo. Dispensers X64.
No, you just give yourself a stack of bows. The command will give you bow stacks, even though they're not supposed to be stacked. There you go.
I mean, that does happen. But like for survival multiplayer or just regular survival worlds, it'll be very helpful to have something that can work around somewhat the annoyance of crafting with non-stackable items like bows.
I don't know. Anyways, enough about Minecraft. we got to move, boys.
Yes, let us continue.
Quick for Court night. Well, maybe not quick, but two big games came out recently. Let's start with Spider-Man 2 that came out yesterday. Spider-Man. Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
We got a picture of Spider-Man.
Court,
Spider-Man
you-
yesterday.
You played Spider-Man 2.
That is pretty much all I did yesterday.
And have
That
you enjoyed
makes
it
sense.
like all of the internet basically has?
Yes. It is amazing. They literally took everything good about the first game, dialed it up to 11, and then added a bunch of other cool stuff.
Oh, so
on
it's
top of
Spider-Man's Tears of the Kingdom.
It is, yeah, no, I mean, essentially, yeah. Like, it's,
Okay,
I like that.
so here's the question though.
Oh no.
Based off what you know of Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3,
Oh, is this one in a Game of the Year?
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man
is
2.
this going to be able to
Is
put up
this
competition
Game of
against
the
them?
Year candidacy?
is this competitive?
Probably not.
will it be nominated?
Probably.
Yes.
So it's a
100%.
first part. It's a Sony game.
But, I mean, there's just so many other, and granted, I'm only like 5 hours into it,
I
so
don't
it's
think
like,
it
I
would
don't know
win.
for sure.
Like it'll be nominated, but I don't think.
But
it
it is a very streamlined, very, very well made, very fun experience. The story is amazing. I mean, I don't want to give like spoilers.
Well, then just don't talk about the
Just say
story.
the story's
Okay.
really good.
The story's
It's really good.
Story
I mean,
is
it
good.
is like genuine emotion that I have not got from a video game story in a long time.
Wow.
And in ways like you know how some stories, like especially more recently, they don't really take the time to really like
flesh things out.
really let you see why certain characters mean
backstories.
things to other characters, you know, mean
there's
something.
been a lot of like
Like,
smoothing over
backstory
backstories
and-
recently.
This game like immediately broke that trend by like immediately going out of its way and giving you like a whole like extended sequence just to make you
nice.
care about one of the characters that it introduces and show you why Peter cares about this character. And like and it's just like it's so well done and it's so awesome. And if you play the game you'll know what mission I'm talking about. But it's like anyway, also the web wings are so cool.
The fly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you can basically fly.
That's awesome.
Like,
I have a quick question.
and it
So I
is sick.
saw, I don't know if this was a mod or not, but there was people playing a Spider-Man Noir.
That's a suit. Yeah.
yeah.
One of the suits? Oh, that's amazing.
The
And like I think I saw it's in it's a very low frame rate too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
very
they
cool.
actually they added that with so they've had Spider-Man 1, then they did Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is like a shorter
game.
spin-off game, and this one is the sequel to both. In the Miles Morales game, one of the suits that they had was an Into the Spider-Verse suit.
And so
and
now
it had a
they-
suit mod where it would basically reduce the frame rate just for the suit, like just for Miles, and then also add like comic punching effects.
That's so cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
And anyway, it was really cool. But yeah, so in this one of the suits,
Is
or
Noir.
Miles has his Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse suits, and then Peter has
That's
the
awesome.
Spider-Man, the Nick Cage Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, I've seen
one.
good
Does
things
it have
about
a
it.
Cage voice?
No.
Aw.
I've seen really good things. I've seen people be like blown away by how fast the fast travel is.
Oh,
Like
it's
they don't
insane.
even think it's real. Like how quick you just. I mean, but then also people are like, but why would you fast travel? Just it's so fun to just.
Oh yeah.
Swing
No,
around
I would
the
never
city.
I never fast traveled
'Cause it's
and
just fun
I
to-
never ever did it, but because it's just fun, and I don't think I'll do it now. Like the other thing that I really like that they updated from the first one.
Yeah, the
Keep going.
squeaking noise
in
in the ceiling.
in
is
the
thing,
first
yeah.
one, they had sort of like this almost looks like this Ubisoft towers, you know, kind of. We're like, oh, you have the towers, you have to sync up to unlock different parts of the map, and like it was cool,
But
and
this
like
one you
it was
just-
fine. And they kind of almost like at the beginning, they almost kind of like tease a similar thing where they're like, where you're like, oh, so this is going to be like the towers equivalent of this game, and then they're like, just kidding. No, you're not going to do that. And then it's like, and then the whole rest of it is like this very seamless, like, just you would like open up more of the open world
By just
map
exploring.
by just being there.
That's
you know,
cool.
and it's like it feels so seamless, and it's just like, and you know, by nature of how the game is, you're already gonna want to just travel everywhere manually because the swinging is so fun. And then the web wing flying
works.
is even more so, like, makes it even more so. And so it's just, I don't know. Like,
I also know you can do the Spider-Man pointing meme.
you can, yeah, because basically
You and the other Spider-Man
you and
exist
the other
in
Spider-Man
the same...
are there at the same time, and so often
You meet
when
up.
you like when you're doing like random like crimes in the city that you're stopping, either
No,
the other
doing
Spider-Man will
crimes.
come in and help you when you're doing crimes.
You're doing crimes.
When you're stopping crimes. Or like I've had a couple where I'll show up to a
he's
a
already
crime
there.
and he's already there,
Yeah,
and
and you
they'll
can
like
just
have
point.
dialogue. And then after every time that both of you do one together, you can go over and like interact, and like there's a bunch of different interactions. They'll put like one of them is like the Spider-Man pointing meme, or like one of them is like they go to give a high five, but then one of them goes to give a hug, and then they like sit there awkwardly, and then like eventually just like give a hug, and it's like
That's awesome.
it feels super seamless, and the switching between the two Spider-Men is basically instantaneous.
Yeah, that's also
It's like
instant.
you open up a little like menu, and then you just hold square or whatever the button is, and you're the other Spider-Man.
Yeah, the game is
immediately like,
crazy
it is-
well optimized.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever beat Lego Star Wars
Lego
switching
Star Wars.
between characters.
It's so funny though. It's like the game on PS5 is like so optimized, but then you see videos of people playing it on PS4, and it just
Is that on PS4?
Some people have tried to like or
Mod
it's,
it
like,
over to
mod it
PS4.
over, or
Yeah.
like joke about it on PS4, and it's just like a laggy mess.
laggy mess,
Because there was like a video on Twitter where someone was like PS4 share Spider-Man 2, not actually playing it, and it was like it would just be like a cutscene, and it would go, and then it would freeze, and then it would go and freeze.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I was like, I mean, they tried to put Miles Morales on the PS4, and it worked fine. But I was like, there's no way
it's so
they
well
could get this running
optimized
on
for
a
PS5. So
There's-
it's like it's good to see that it's getting some really well. Like everyone loves it. I think it's like the third best rated superhero game on Metacritic. I think it's like a 91.
Yeah.
And the only two above it are like two of the Arkham games.
the Arkham games, which totally makes
So like
sense.
it's doing numbers. But the other game that's doing
it's doing
numbers is Mario Wonder
Yeah.
with Kevin Bacon.
With Ask Me for Directions,
Ask Me for
Arnold.
Directions,
Our
Arnold.
boy.
Has anyone played Super Mario Bros. Wonder yet?
I wish.
I also wish.
All I know is that everyone loves it. I haven't seen anything bad about
But I mean, it's Nintendo.
it's a
Like,
Nintendo
I mean,
Mario
like,
game. Like
Were they
I mean-
really gonna put out a bad Mario game?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I actually wasn't that impressed with New Super Mario Bros. For the
That's
Wii.
fair.
It was all right, but
for the Wii or for the Wii U?
No, for the Wii.
For the Wii, the first
one. It was all right, but it was just kind of like I feel like it was a little too tried and true, a little too tired out of the same formulas. They mixed it up in a few ways, but not enough for me. But that's still just me. I know most people still
Well,
really
it's
like
also
that one.
been quite a while since we've had
one.
like basically
Exactly.
a brand new Mario
2D
platformer.
Mario, yeah.
Exactly.
So none of us have played it. All I know is that I have yet to see a bad review about it.
Well,
so
I mean, that's the thing is the worst case scenario for this game, because it's Nintendo, was
that it's
it
like
would
an
be
okay
all
game.
right.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like
true.
like there was no way that this game was going to come out and be actively bad. Like
Yeah, Nintendo doesn't really release bad first-party games.
yeah.
So
Well, especially
everyone-
not their flagship. You know?
everyone loves it. I have no idea how Arnold. I mean, Arnold asked me anything. Arnold, how Kevin's voice is for Mario. Since I haven't played it, but I haven't seen anything bad about it, so I would assume that he did a pretty good job. So keep it up, Kevin. Keep it up.
I definitely do want to add this to my ever-growing list of Switch games that I
You
have,
want to
but
have.
have not played.
Wait, do you have a copy?
No, I want
he
to.
wants to add it to his Steam
I
wish list.
see. Because you're too busy playing God of War Ragnarok and Spider-Man 2
and Fortnite.
and Fortnite.
and all of the other
So
games.
good Nintendo games. However, there was a game that did come out recently that is tragically bad.
Oh,
Court,
yeah,
why don't you
nice-
tell us
nice
about the King
segue.
Kong game?
Okay, so I just saw a little bit
yes,
about this.
What is this?
Okay, so yep, there it is.
Oh, what am I looking
There
at?
it is. Okay, so
Oh.
For context, this game spent only 1 year in development.
1 year in development.
You sure it even spent a year in development?
No.
It was. It's made as a tie-in to like the newer like the movies, like the newer King Kong and Godzilla movies.
So this is like one of those games made to promote a movie?
Yeah,
Kind
and
of.
it's made as a prequel to Kong Skull Island, where it takes place like before that movie.
But
And it is just like
it's so bad.
it is horrendously bad.
This would have looked bad on the N64.
It's so bad.
You know,
like,
like
it's so
what is this in today's standards?
Like-
What is this?
But it came out and it's like a full blown like it costs
It's a full
like $50.
game.
Like
But there's nothing about it that's good.
no, I mean like literally like, you watch gameplay, I mean it looks like a bad mobile game.
It is.
But,
the
but it's
mechanics
like
are
out on the
janky.
PS5.
It's
like
so
it's
bad.
like the combat looks awful. Like I saw this clip of like this guy and he's like entering a boss fight and there's like these giant crabs that are the boss fight, right? The crabs don't even like walk.
They don't have
like,
animation.
No, they literally just
slide.
floated across the landscape.
no.
And like it looked
It's so bad.
so
It's so
I saw
bad.
one where you're fighting like a dinosaur thing, and like the dinosaur shows up, and Kong goes, and then and
You
then
mean like
and
the
then
face he's making here?
kind of like that, and
Oh
then the
my
dinosaur,
gosh.
like they're trying to do like a roar thing, but it's literally just a JPEG of the dinosaur
No.
going. Ah.
No.
It's so bad.
It is
So for every home run game, you get one of these.
Oh my goodness. I'm just hoping that this becomes a bed of incredible reaction memes.
Never change game industry. Always give us from like no name studios. Just have games like this show up.
Well, it just blows my
It's
mind
so
because
funny.
it's not like the Universal monster universe, like or the whatever, like the Kong movies and the Godzilla movies. It's not like they've been doing poorly.
No, they're like
like
decent.
they've been making great, like tons of money. So
But-
could they not put a little bit of that money into making a
something that-
decent game?
I didn't like read a ton. I don't think that Universal they didn't make this game. It was like just some other studio that just made it. Right?
Well, but it's like an official tie-in
Okay, well,
with that
official
universe.
tie-in.
So
Like,
they
it's
just
like-
something tells me that the studios just went, oh, you're making a game, cool, and just like let it go and didn't have, and then just didn't look at it, and then it got released, and they're now going, wait a minute, what did we do?
Yeah.
What did we do?
Remember that episode we did on other media adapted into video games? Had this come out at the time, we would have had a heyday
So-
with this
so
one.
funny.
So funny.
That is hilarious.
Next up, Ben, tell us about your favorite boy band.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
boy band a moment.
Anime.
So-
No, not anime.
League of Legends has been, every world championship has been going through a thing where they will make a new band based off
Yep.
and like using characters from League as like performers, and then like they make skin lines for it and everything. It's really fun. So
They finally did the boy band.
like 2016 was Pentakill, which was their heavy metal band. 2018 was KDA, which is their K-pop. 2019 was True Damage, which was like a Western style band. 2020 they went back to KDA and did. Actually, I think that was 2020. Anyways, back at you again with
is that
Heartsteel.
Heartsteel.
So Heartsteel is an item. All these names for these bands are based off of like names of stuff inside the game.
Oh my
So
goodness.
Pentakill, True Damage, KDA, Heartsteel is an item,
love
and
it.
so obviously Heartsteel worked
I
for.
love it.
And so you've got, let's see, that's
I love
that's
Who was on
Cassante.
this poster?
That's Cassante, the dude with the yellow jacket. Kane is the one that's upside down, pulling at his lip, I guess. Set is the one writing. Ezreal's the back doing the peace sign. Yon is being all grumpy there. And Aphelios is pulling at his shirt.
Nice color. Oh my goodness.
And so,
this should be fun.
the
Is the
song,
music at least good?
Well, the
It
song.
launches next week. I think
28th.
their first single.
So 1 week from now,
So we'll
next
see.
Saturday.
I'm curious. Are these bands like canon to the universe of?
Oh,
League?
No.
Okay.
They're canon to their skin
They're
lines.
canon to the skin
So
lines.
when League
Just a
makes skin
promotional
lines,
stunt.
they make like an entire universe around these characters and the skin. So like they're still the same characters, but like it's like an alternate universe where instead of it like being a medieval thing, it's future where they have
So
laser
it'll be,
blades instead of regular
It'll be
swords or
interesting.
whatever.
And I know like Overwatch is doing a K-pop group
are?
collab for BlizzCon,
Oh,
which I'll talk
man.
about when that comes around. So, I mean, it sells. It sells skins.
It
That's true.
sells,
That's true.
and it's really great that Riot made a game to support their music company.
They have to make the biggest esport to support their
To
dream
support
of
their
creating boy
dream of
bands and
creating boy
K-pop
bands
groups.
and K-pop groups.
That's their big secret.
That's the whole
Riot is
reason.
actually
Riot
a
is just
music
like-
label.
Like, you know how they wanted to make an MMO and then ended up creating Overwatch? Well, Riot just wanted to make music and they ended up creating a game.
And recreating it.
Like, all right, we gotta roll with it.
They created a MOBA instead. Oh, that's so funny. Kyle, why don't you also tell us about a group of guys having a good time? Red versus Blue. I'm gonna be
Well-
honest, I could not find what exactly you were referring to.
A large amount of Red versus Blue has now been removed from YouTube.
Oh, it's not just Red versus Blue. It's a lot of Rooster Teeth
A
content.
lot of Rooster Teeth. Now, Red vs. Blue is the one I'm specifically talking
Yeah.
about because this is related to gaming. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, and it's kind of sad that you are, but, you know, go watch it because this is amazing.
I mean, how
and
am I
it's sad
supposed
that
to
you're
now?
missing out. It's sad that you're missing out because this is great.
How do I watch it now?
Okay, well,
On
the first...
roosterteeth.com.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Red vs. Blue was kind of like the origin of what we call machinima. Machinima, if you don't know, is where you take footage from in the game
And dub over it.
you dub over. You act out some scene using your in-game characters, and you just like, you know, you don't animate it. You just use the game to make the footage. Machinima's really been popular in Minecraft, in Halo, but it started
With
mostly
Rooster Teeth.
with Rooster Teeth doing Red vs. Blue, which is about like a bunch of Halo
Spartans
Spartans
just
in the
doing-
Blood Gulch map from the original Halo map having wacky misadventures. It's really funny. There's
And then
some
it got
absolute
way
great
out of
lines.
hand.
It got
where they like
way
had
out of hand.
full-on character rigging animation. And,
Yeah,
like,
and
Yeah, their most
it
recent
really grew
seasons
from
were-
there. And like as a stunt to try and bring people to their website for the final season of Red vs. Blue, they pulled so much of it off of YouTube. I think the first few seasons are still there.
No, all of them are off.
They're all
so
off
the
now.
reason,
Okay,
so
at first
the
they
reason,
was just the
the reason
first
that was
few.
given is it was a monetary decision, which I can understand because Rooster Teeth
They're struggling.
is a entertainment media company, so they have to make money. And so the reasoning, I don't remember if it was Carrie that gave it. One of Rooster Teeth's, one of the heads at Rooster Teeth said the reasoning was YouTube ad revenue just
It wasn't cutting it.
it.
So
And they said that the ads that they ran on Rooster Teeth's website gave them like 5 to 6 times more revenue, and so they just went, we're just pulling it all off of YouTube. It's all just going to be on our website. We make more money doing that way. Mm-hmm. And I mean,
And that's understandable.
That's understandable. They're an
But-
entertainment company. They have to make money.
And if I remember correctly, Rooster Teeth has been struggling
been
financially
struggling.
in recent times. So they're really trying to pull things together, trying to get their books set straight, trying to get their money going so that they don't go
So
under.
all of their content is on the Rooster Teeth website now. I don't think you have to pay for it to watch it
if I
because
remember
there are ads
correctly,
on
the
there.
last few seasons of Red vs. Blue are behind a subscription
Okay.
paywall. But
There
I
you go.
believe the first several should still be okay to watch
They're
just
probably
with
fine.
ads. But either way, there are quite a few fans. The way I found out about this was a fan posting an angry video about it on YouTube where they were calling Rooster Teeth a greedy, failing company.
I don't think you can call them greedy for this move.
But,
It's like they
yeah.
have to make money.
I don't think it's too bad.
No.
Like compared to a lot of the other monetary decisions we've covered on this
Like,
podcast, this is
makes sense.
mild.
They're
This is fine.
struggling. Their ad revenue's not cutting on the YouTube.
Honestly,
so
what they
this
should
is-
do is they should try to find a way if they could put it on a streaming service. Like, can you imagine?
Well,
like,
it
Red
used
vs.
to be
Blue,
on Netflix for the
It
longest
was,
time, and then
but-
it was removed off Netflix. I don't remember
I
when
mean,
it
I'm
was.
guessing Microsoft wouldn't be too happy about that unless they got a cut of the action or a special deal was reached.
That's
fair.
true.
You know, because this is using Halo characters, Halo game models, Halo games.
Yeah. So it was on Netflix for a time, and now it's not. So now you can only find it on Rooster Teeth, and it's more than just Red vs. Blue. It's a lot of their shows. I think most of their shows now are only on.
Yeah, I'd
Rooster
be
Teeth.
curious if Ruby is still available on
Ruby
Crunchyroll.
probably is available on Crunchyroll because it's.
Ruby,
I had
like
no
the
idea
anime?
Yeah.
Ruby
It's
was
made
a
by-
That's Rooster Teeth.
didn't know
That's
that
the
was Rooster
same.
Teeth.
That's the
I-
same company.
I've barely even heard of Ruby, but I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's Rooster Teeth.
I thought
Rooster
Ruby
Teeth.
was just.
And
like
then
a straight up,
I pull up the
no.
Rooster Teeth website, and
No,
the first thing I see
it's
is
American.
Ruby.
Ruby, without going too deep into it, Ruby is one of the shows that really sparked the what is considered anime. because
Oh,
it's
dang,
made,
Death
it's
Battle is-
American
It's
made,
entirely American made.
and so people are like,
I think the creator was from Asia, Monty.
Monty,
Odom?
yeah, Monty.
Yeah,
Monty was
but
Asian.
he was still living in America when he made it, and had lived in America for a very long
Yeah.
time. And then he working with the American company Rooster Teeth, which had already done like some gaming content, and they'd done Red versus Blue for a while. But Ruby was one of their huge
I think
hits.
it was the first fully animated one. So.
And
yeah, I don't know if Ruby will be on. I would imagine it's still on Crunchyroll. But if you
Death
want,
Battle is also Rooster
Death
Teeth.
Battle is
yes,
also Rooster
there are lots
Teeth.
of Rooster Teeth. Ben's over here going, "Wow, I didn't realize how much."
They do a lot of stuff. It's just they've been struggling to make the
they've been
money they
struggling.
need to
so
keep afloat.
I think this move it makes sense. I don't think if you get mad at Rooster Teeth for doing this, then you just don't seem to understand how corporations work. They
it's
are
like-
still a company that needs to make
and
money.
I do hope they get to continue making stuff like. And if that flops and they end up going under anyway, I hope that they'll do us a solid
Well,
and
they're
just put it up on YouTube.
Who are they owned by now? Are they owned by Warner Bros? Yeah, I think
Are
they're
they-
owned.
are they owned by
because
Warner Bros?
they did. Ruby did a crossover with Justice League recently, so I think Warner Bros owns Rooster Teeth now, or
Okay,
it
so
has for a while.
That will help.
They have for a
but-
while.
Yeah, I'm just at the very least hoping that Rooster Teeth can still keep making their stuff because they make a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, they make a lot of fun
you know,
stuff.
so here's hoping that they turn around financially and are doing good, and that the last season of Red versus Blue is good.
Literally, my only exposure to Red versus Blue, real exposure, is that they used Red versus Blue to announce when Master Chief came into Fortnite.
That's so funny.
They did a little. They announced it at the Game Awards with a little Red versus Blue skit.
That's
Oh,
so
that's
funny.
amazing.
Well, from one Halo thing to another, why don't we cross Pokemon into Halo?
Oh, yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah. So what's the story with this?
Okay, so remember how last week I talked about how they've added AI into Forge in Halo?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
And so you can do a billion different things. This one's pretty small. This is just something that I saw, but I thought it was cool, and I wanted to bring it up as a extension of last week's. But basically, I saw this clip of this guy had used the AI tools in Halo Infinite's Forge mode to basically make a Pokemon battle arena with
With the Halo characters.
with Halo AI. So it
Oh,
was
that's
it was you
amazing.
could it was two different sides, and there was a red side and a blue side, and then you could go in and you could
Code it and
you could spawn in a Pokeball that would have a specific enemy type.
Arbiter, I choose
exactly.
you.
So you would go to the elite and you would spawn it, and then it was this little ball. It wasn't actually a Pokeball, but it was a Halo-esque looking ball item, that looked kind of like a Pokeball. And then you could throw it into the arena, and it would
Flash
flash
light.
open, and there would be the enemy.
There would be
Oh,
and then
that's
you could set them up
amazing.
how you wanted with the Pokeball, and then you could just press a little console, and they would start fighting each other. And super basic, and not
But it's
anything
what you can
crazy.
do with the AI.
But it's just it's been out for 2 days, and
people are already.
yeah, there's definitely going to be some crazy stuff.
We'll be
going
keeping
on.
an eye on the Halo Forge scene.
Who's that Halo Mon?
Who's that Halo Mon?
It's the Grunt.
It's,
gonna run.
I'm excited to see what comes out of the Halo
Yeah, I
Infinite
think it's
Forge
gonna be
mode.
a lot of fun.
That's amazing.
Staying on Microsoft though, Microsoft and Sony have been having a freaking battle over the Vegas sphere that's been making the making the runs.
Oh, that
Dude,
thing, yeah.
Over the last week, Microsoft and Sony have been both putting things on the sphere. So Microsoft did one recently, and
Yeah.
I think they had Starfield on there. Maybe
Probably.
I
I
think
just saw this morning.
I think Starfield
actually.
may have been on there for a second, but then Sony also did one to advertise Spider-Man 2. They both just spent
Been having an
thousands of
advertising
dollars.
war.
They were basically having an advertising war using the Vegas sphere,
And
which is
meanwhile-
crazy, by the way. But
Meanwhile, the guys who own the sphere are just raking in the dough.
Yeah,
like,
they're
you
just-
got to
they're
keep going,
raking.
man.
They're just war
Well, I
pumping
mean,
right
whoever-
over.
Pretty much.
I mean, whoever made the sphere probably cost a
Yeah, I mean, they got to
a
make that
shiny
investment
penny.
back.
the videos that come from the inside of that are just
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're
insane. Could
insane.
you imagine just loading Smash Bros up inside that thing?
Bro.
Just fully immersive.
I want someone to rickroll the world with
Whoa!
that sphere.
Rickroll.
That would thousands of dollars. To
If I
Rickroll.
had
Unlimited
unlimited
cash to
money,
just toss
I
away.
would do that. I would pay them to.
Oh
Rickroll.
man,
If there's anyone watching this podcast who's uber rich, do it.
Also
You
give
know
us
it'd be
money.
worth it. Also, what?
some money.
if they're super rich. We're struggling college students.
You're not even a college student
Yeah,
anymore.
get outta here.
I'm
You
struggling.
graduated.
He's just struggling.
He's just struggling.
The final news topic that we have is peanut butter speed running, which
Yes,
if you know,
what is
you know,
this?
and if you don't know, you don't know. So
Dog.
there is a dog.
Okay.
There is a dog
There is a dog
named
Whoa.
Peanut Butter. a Shiba Inu.
Oh, great
Who
kind of dog.
has
Good
learned
for
how
memes.
to do speed runs of the NES platformer Gyromite.
I'm sorry, what?
Gyro.
You heard that right. A Shiba Inu has learned, or at least assisted by their owner, to speed run an NES game.
Wow, such game.
Much
Much wow.
And this dog and his owner will be doing a speed run at AGDQ next year.
Oh my god.
Like the speed running convention.
Wow.
We will be having a dog-assisted speed run next year.
That's impressive.
Why are you laughing, man?
Because it's a dog-assisted speed run.
Instead of a TAS, it's a DAS.
Dog-assisted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what does the actual one stand for?
Tool assisted.
Tool
speed run.
assisted. It's a task. So, and it's not even. So it's like he actually has like an official like record of a 25-29 minute, a 25-29 run of Gyromite that was done this year.
Oh my god.
And like I watched some videos
is
of it, and basically
insane.
what it is the owner kind of had a rudimentary controller set up, channel with 2 paddles, maybe with 3, and he would basically just like tell the dog red or I don't remember if it was like directions or colors. He would just say red, and he'd put his paw on the red, and then sit, and he'd pull it off, and he blue, and he put it, and like he was basically just telling the dog which one to put it on, and it would speed run this NES game.
Wow.
So
A dog will speedrun Zelda 2 at AGDQ.
He's gonna speedrun Zelda 2.
also that, I guess, yeah.
Why Zelda 2? That game has a horrible combat system. It nearly killed the Zelda franchise.
Well, it's not gonna kill this dog.
We'll see.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Will this adorable puppet
Will this pupper be able to
defeat
overcome?
I can't wait for the memes that come from that if the dog succeeds.
I don't imagine, unless he gets stage fright.
We need to add that dog to Smash Bros.
Yes, we need this dog in Smash
The
Bros.
Shiba Inu on
If
Smash
this dog
Bros.
successfully speedruns Zelda 2, Nintendo, you have an official responsibility to add him to Smash Bros.
There you go.
Now a Nintendo character.
He's now a Nintendo character. So that's all for news. And as you notice, it's like, wait, it's only been like 45 minutes. Surely the episode's not over, and you'd be correct. We're finally going back to doing fun
You're
things
wrong.
on this
It is
podcast.
We are having our
We're
fun
outta here.
segments.
So we decided to all gather together and submit to Lillian, so none of us know. Thank goodness, because I don't run the graphics, I can now not have to know and get things spoiled.
This is
to me.
great.
So
Like, by the way, Lillian, you've been doing a great job so far. Very good.
we all have
Much
come
thanks.
prepared with various amounts of our favorite memes from games or game related
Yes.
memes.
Video game related memes.
that we all have graphics for, that are all set up, that we pulled up, and we'll probably just do it as we do in the past, and we all just kind of share one, and we know that we will go off on tangents if it games that
Absolutely.
contain way more memes than have been submitted.
And of course, as a disclaimer, this is just a sampling of highlights of video game memes because there is no way
Your
we could be
favorites may or
anything
may not be
comprehensive.
mentioned. All we know is there's no duplicates between the 4 of us.
I think so,
Somehow.
yes. Which is
Somehow.
great.
Somehow we
That
have
is
no
great.
duplicates.
Yeah, so hey, in the comments, if there are
Put your
comments on the
favorite.
podcast, on the platform you're using, put your
Spotify
favorite
did
memes.
just add
Yeah.
comments.
Okay,
if,
so yeah,
if you
add
don't see your
comments.
favorite, if we don't mention your favorite, put your favorite.
Mention
Put
it.
an
Tell us
angry
about it.
comment in there. Tell us
How
why.
dare you not like
How dare
mine?
you not add
So
Dig
who-
Dug.
Dig Dug.
Dig Dug.
So who wants to unveil their first one?
Sounds like Ben.
Oh, Ben.
I guess. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick
Ben?
to get an idea of what I submitted. Okay, I think I've got a good first one.
Okay.
I don't know how we're going to.
Well,
Could
you
you
have
just
to
pull
make
them up
it.
in any order?
She's labeled them in a way, so you have to make it clear which one it is, without spoiling it if you can.
The one with a hand.
Oh, with the hand.
With a hand.
She's like, I got you.
He got us. Here we go. Let's see it.
Touch
Grass, boys. I like just how toxic multiplayer games has created this entire concept of gamers have never touched grass. And in order to tell someone, like, I think you are a loser who spends all their time inside, and
Tell them to touch.
playing
tell
this
them
stupid
to touch
game. Go touch grass. I don't know.
That is
I want to
such a
know
good one.
who's the genius that came up with this
I don't
idea.
even.
but
It's been around for what,
been
about a
around
year
for-
or two. So?
Like, it started off as a really solid roast, but eventually it's just become so accepted that people will say, like, oh man, I need to go touch grass.
I need to go
touch
touch grass.
Like,
I-
I've been inside too long.
We literally have this running joke with me and all my roommates who play Fortnite, where it's like we're like, we can't touch grass. Like anytime that we touch grass, our skill in Fortnite drastically decreases, just naturally. Like, so we have to keep our hands pure of grass.
That's a good one, Ben. That's
That
a
is-
good
that is
one.
a
That's
great way to open.
classic one to
That
start
is
with.
absolutely fantastic.
That's
That's
a good
good.
one.
Very
Kyle, I
good.
know you only submitted 2, so we can
Yeah,
either go
well,
with you or skip you. It's the rest of us
I'll do one of mine because, like, okay, I submitted 2, but they're both bangers. And
Okay.
I was up late last night editing
Oh, he
video.
was. Oh.
Yeah. Not for a meme though.
Oh.
I wish.
Aw.
I wish. But let's do the first one is so okay. There's the 2 of them. There's the one with like the 2 characters. That's more of an illustrated style. Do that one.
Uh-oh. An illustrated meme? A drawn? A hand drawn?
Hand drawn.
Oh,
Crossing.
okay.
Doom Crossing.
Doom and Isabel.
Doom crossing.
Yeah, Doom Guy and Isabel being best friends. I wrote a paper on this.
You did.
This year in one of my classes. We needed to write papers on like a topic of our choosing, so I decided to write it on this crossover meme between Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons. And it's such a good one. Like this is one of the best examples of internet absurdity, where like Isabel, the cutesy little dog from the cutesy little game, learns from the action hero Doomslayer to kill demons and splatter their blood across her face, and she loves it, and it's so funny. And this is actually the thumbnail for a song that was made for
there's
this
a
meme.
song made for
I
the
think you
meme.
guys have probably all heard the song. I
Yeah.
linked it in my essay, by the way, so the teacher saw the music video. And it's so good.
I love like I want a Doom Guy in Smash Bros for a variety of reasons, but one of the main reasons
Is
was
the-
so that
was
we
to
could
make this canon.
make this
Isabel
a real.
Doom.
Like,
Isn't Doom Guy's armor like an outfit you can give the
Yeah,
Mii
that's
Gunner?
true. He
Yeah,
is-
so you
yeah,
can
you
do
can
that.
sort
You
of,
can have
yeah.
Doom Guy and Isabel in Smash Bros together, best friends forever, guys.
If they do add Doom Guy, they need to make like a little secret combo thing where if you have Isabel on your team, you can just like pick her up and like chuck her at somebody.
That'd be amazing. But like, if I had time, I would have gathered more examples because there's so many amazing illustrations. There's like one where Isabel is riding Doom Guy's shoulder, and it's got that little Animal Crossing speech bubble, and she's gleefully saying "Rip and tear until it is done."
Oh my gosh.
And there's ones where like they're out just fishing. Like Isabel's teaching Doom Guy how to fish or catch butterflies, and there's ones where he's teaching her how to use the shotgun.
That's
Like
one
I
of
like
my-
the dichotomy in this photo of little Isabel with a shotgun, blood
And
everywhere.
then Doom Guy has the little
Guy's got the
net.
net.
It's just
Net,
casually
butterfly.
got the butterfly net. It's like the surprising wholesomeness of them being best friends and just teaching each other their hobbies.
their hobbies.
Is just
hobbies.
so funny. I love
Well,
it to
and,
death.
and the whole thing, for context of people who don't know, the whole thing came about because Doom Eternal, which, you know, of course, is this super ultra violent, like super
pulse pounding
game,
heavy metal action.
released on the same day
As
Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is this very laid back, like
life sim,
Life
anthropomorphic
sim.
animals, puppies and
Yeah.
apple orchards.
Puppies and
Right.
Puppies and apple
and so it's
orchards.
just like there were all these memes of like there was like even like real world equivalent memes where you'd have like this like huge ripped dude like go up to a counter at GameStop and be like on the day
like
of,
New
and be
Horizons,
like
please.
1 copy of Animal Crossing New Horizons, please. and then like this like little like this little like like little girl or something come up and just,
with the pigtails and a little
with the
dress.
pigtails like, please 1 copy of Doom Eternal.
I love it to death.
Doom Eternal.
And then there's like ones too where they do drawings where their roles are reversed. So like
Oh,
Doom
yeah.
Guy is like in his bed and he's like kind of scared. He's got the blankets pulled up to him. Isabel is like looking under. She's like, pew pew, got the monsters under the bed for you. And he's like, thanks.
One of my favorite things is a big, menacing, terrifying character that is just doing these little wholesome.
Yeah,
Going
like, I
fishing,
love
catching
fun.
butterflies.
Seeing Isabel, go ham on demons is super funny. But
It's
I love the
just as funny
opposite side of
The
seeing Doom Guy.
It's just casually. It's funny. It's like in the song even he's like, there's that whole monologue from Doom Eternal, like, in the first stage, the demon things happen, and against them we send only you. But in the song, Doom Guy sings, in the first stage, on the first vacation, eternal rage was unleashed upon a fruit plantation. And, like, but just the idea of him enjoying this, like, nice laid-back thing, because he's like, oh yeah, killing demons, that's my 9 to 5. But when I'm done with that, I head over with my friend Isabel and just, go fishing.
It is a very wholesome meme.
It's great. I love this one so much.
That's so funny. All right, my first one is Overwatch related because it's just so ingrained
course it
in
is.
Overwatch. Do the image of C9 LOL first, and then you can put the video up for it. So
what?
The meme comes from the esports team Cloud9.
Okay.
C9 LOL is the meme, and the reason why, the origin story of this goes way back to the beginning of competitive Overwatch. Cloud9 was playing in a tournament against, I don't remember which Korean team it was, and in Overwatch you have to, eliminating the enemy team is important, but you have to capture the objective. If you don't capture the objective, it doesn't matter. So they won team fights, eliminated the enemy team, and didn't capture the objective, so they would lose the map. And they did it 3 times in a single match. You can play the video, get it in. And so it has now evolved over time where anytime a team just doesn't capture an objective, you just put C9 LOL in the chat. Regardless if it's an actual C9. You'll win the fight and you just didn't touch. And everyone just goes, no, not again.
No one's going to the objective.
Just, you see, they're like, oh, they're going. And then they just step off.
They just leave.
They leave the objective.
They just leave the objective.
Like, okay,
and they
bye.
just lose. And when it happens in the Overwatch League, the casters are like, not again. Not, it happened again. And when it happens in games, there's like, so no touch. And it just kind of mentally booms you. So Cloud9, the esports organization, has become a meme in the Overwatch community of just like, you win the team fight or you're winning the team fight and the enemy team just wins because you don't touch the objective. And it just like you just mentally boom yourself, and the casters are just like they're just so hurt. They're so hurt and disappointed that it just happens, and the players are also just like, when it happens, they're all just memeing on each other and they're just smiling about it. And there are moments, this one right here, I want you to watch the lower bit. There's a meme that has been birthed called Hawk Despair. And it's a freeze frame of him like going, like freaking out.
He went off camera.
It is one of the best memes in Overwatch because it's just like, now people just say C9 even if it's not. It's just that is the one that I brought. They're just like so hurt on the inside when it happens. So that is my first one.
That is
C9 LOL for Overwatch.
Incredible.
So
share
funny.
us yours, your first one.
My first one, let's pull up the image of the guy standing and pointing.
It's literally just the Spider-Man meme.
No, this is the. Oh, of course it's this one.
Actually, in that case, Liam, pull up the video of Nice Argument.
Oh, did you have this
We
one
do
too?
have this one.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Wait, we have the video?
Oh, I have the video.
Well, I didn't want to do the video because it swears.
Well, no. Nice
censor
argument,
it?
Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source? My source says that I made it the fetch up.
Okay, good. Without audio, we can do it our way.
It's such a. This is such.
That is
So we
such
do
a
a
good
duplicate,
meme.
but this is so
So
good.
but yeah, I mean, so this meme is there's a YouTuber named Maxor, and he
This did originate with Maxor.
This is a Maxor.
and he does a ton of all of his. There's a ton of like.
There's so many
you've
memes. Like,
probably
you
seen.
guys
You
ever
play
hear
as
say like
John Genshin.
John Doom, John
John
Genshin?
Genshin,
That's all
John Wright.
Maxor
It's all
references.
John Halo.
And this comes from his like incorrect summary of Metal
Yeah.
Gear Rising, I think.
and
Yeah.
and it's just the clip taken out of context is funny. The clip taken into context is funny, but for the same reasons, because it doesn't really make
Yeah,
sense.
like this
even in
guy, this
context.
senator, just kind of like is
Like-
going off about conspiracies, and like the main guy's like, "That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up
with a source. My source is that I made it up.
I made it up. And this transcends gaming now.
Yeah.
this
This is like
is-
this is a.
This has gone outside the world of gaming. People
Oh,
use this all over.
100%.
It's great.
It's and
But-
it's just like used in so many meme templates because there's like the one of like the guy like ascending. It's like I made it up.
Like, but it's beyond just this and beyond just the Maxor video. This character, Senator Armstrong, and the game of Metal Gear Rising in general, but especially him,
Especially Armstrong.
has become like a a whole has spawned a whole slew of memes.
Oh, I'm
like
sure.
the nanomachine, son. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
like
so many
or like the
nanomachines.
meme of
Look
the
at
main,
Twitter.
like the main character punching
punching
and
him.
just standing there, just taking it, just absolutely no.
It's all
like,
over Twitter. Oh my goodness, it is. It's just,
Or like the one where he's like turning in his little control center, like loosening his
Yeah,
tie while he uses
yeah.
all the controls.
Yeah,
Like,
because the whole concept of his character in the Maxor video, especially, is just goofy. But
It's just goofy.
even in the normal
Even in the game, it's kinda goofy.
He is the whole concept of his character. From what I understand, I haven't played the game, but the whole concept of his character is that basically he's just a normal U.S. senator
it's just souped
who
up.
just roided himself up with nanomachines to just make himself but so he's still a super just normal dude in the way that he talks. He's got the glasses and he push them up and
Yeah.
and he talk in
he,
senator
rips his
lingo.
suit
Yeah,
with his
and
muscle.
but it's just the goofiest
It's
character.
imagine taking a beefed up G.I. Joe caricature and then making him a senator.
U.S. Senator, and that's Senator Armstrong.
Senator
Well,
Armstrong.
and it's the cherry on top of the Metal Gear Rising game, which as a whole and as a concept
is a crazy
just,
game.
It's just a ridiculous meme
Yeah.
game from the other character that's also from that you also see is the guy with the sword that kind of looks like Markiplier.
Microphone,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
guy.
you see him all over the place
oh,
too.
he's got the clapping.
The
meme
clapping.
yeah, or
and,
the one where he turns around and smiles at the camera.
That smile is
Metal Gear
creepy, by the
Rising
way.
is just a
It
meme
is
game.
It is a meme
It's a
game
silly
in and of
game.
itself.
I
but
will
this
say,
is the...
I did watch a video that did a character analysis of Senator Armstrong, and it was kind of funny how deep you can go when you
he's-
look
it's
into it.
actually quite-
Because he becomes a caricature of the United States military-industrial
Yep.
complex and quite a few other things, and it's just wow, they made this really deep kind of mirror to point back at the country,
yeah.
but at the same time it made it absolutely hilarious the whole way
Absolutely
through. That
hilarious.
you got to be
I
really
think
smart
Senator
to do that.
Armstrong is where spawns the meme of "Be the American the Japanese
the
believe
American."
you are."
yeah.
I mean, if you've ever seen an American character in a Japanese,
Japanese anime,
they've
yep.
got the United States flag bandana, sunglasses. They
Super
let you
buff.
know. They let you know who's the American.
It's so good.
it
All
is
right, Ben,
amazing.
hit us
All right.
with your second one.
Here we
On to
go.
the next one. You said you got the GIF to work.
All right.
It is-
Do the one with Ray.
Julie, do the thing.
Julie, do the thing.
Oh, this.
The Dark Souls
Dark
roll.
Souls
Dark
roll.
Souls roll. I've seen this video.
Oh, the Dark Souls roll is so good.
This guy must have been so dizzy after doing
I
this,
bet.
though.
Well, it's depending on what the art, if that's cloth or if that helmet is actual metal, dude,
Every
don't
single turn
go
just hits his head. But explain this for people who don't
Dark
know.
Souls roll.
So
This
in
is
the,
so
in the
perfect.
Dark Souls series, one of your main combat maneuvers to get around boss is about to hit you with a hammer the size of a building, is to just roll out of the way.
Yeah.
And it's very spammable too. So if you're dealing with a boss, you just go roll, and you reposition till you're behind them, and you smack them in the knee, and you roll.
so
You're again,
That's
you hit
literally-
them in the ankle,
in the angle.
and it's that cycle for 20 minutes while you're slowly just whittling away this boss's health bar.
I have not seen this clip before, but I love how confused.
Yeah,
Ray
Ray is
looks.
She has
where is
no
it?
idea what's happening.
She is.
This man's rolls are
Defensive.
really well. I
Oh,
mean, those
yeah,
are some
very well
solid
done.
rolls.
Yep.
But it's all the From Software games, like Elden Ring,
Yep.
Sekiro,
rolls are such an important part
Basically,
of surviving
any Dark
fights.
Souls type, any Souls
yeah,
type
any Souls
game.
type game
You just
has
gotta
that,
roll.
Has the roll.
that roll.
It's where in the community they talk about if you have too much equipment and you're doing a slow roll, they call it a fat roll, because you feel like you're fat and slow and you're not moving fast enough, you get hit anyway. I've seen memes where there was a raccoon that was trying to roll away from the guy taking the video, and they just put Dark Souls boss music on.
So I've seen tons of things where any kind of situation where something starts rolling.
They just put the Dark Souls.
The Dark Souls. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Of course, it's the final boss
Well,
from Dark Souls 3.
I love, and that kind of extends to beyond just the rolling meme, but the meme of things becoming Dark Souls final.
Oh yeah, the
bosses.
final
Yeah,
boss.
Like
final
some
boss music
like
starts.
a person will rise up with pots on their head and stuff, and it'll just start playing the Dark Souls.
Yeah, and that brings me to the meme of why do I hear boss music?
Why do I hear boss
You
music?
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the thing where they just take a picture of something that's wearing an odd piece or whatever, like a dog with a traffic cone on its head.
Yeah.
And someone just puts in like Rufus.
Oh yeah, and like the style of
Rufus the Road Warrior or whatever.
There's an entire subreddit dedicated to that called r/boss fights.
It's
like
so
great.
good. It's
so good.
I just also love the Dark Souls meme where it's like, yeah, I completed Dark Souls on the hardest difficulty. Just like Dark Souls is just like, it's the pinnacle of like, if you can complete Dark Souls on like the hardest difficulty, you are akin to a soldier.
I tried playing Elden Ring on normal difficulty, and I was just
I don't think there is a difficulty slider, is there?
But but it's hard.
so
like,
funny.
that's the moral of the story.
And I don't remember, was it Dark Souls or was it one of the other games where did Tri-Finger but Hole come from Dark Souls, or was that one of the other RPGs?
No, that's Elden Ring.
That was Elden Ring, because fingers are important in Elden Ring.
Well, in Elden Ring, in all Dark Souls games, and all FromSoft games, from what I understand, but especially in Elden Ring, you can leave like little messages behind for other players to read, but you can only choose from like select words. So like people would make all kinds of like weird, like one of my favorite is like, it's like try, and then they would use the word fort and then the word night, like night. Try fortnight.
And then in like Elden Ring, there are these giant things, which literally just this enormous, grotesque pair of like grayish, brownish fingers, which look really weird. And they'll like do these motions, and it'll like tell the will of like the gods or something in the game
As
lore.
one does.
And then this like old lady will tell you the will of the fingers. It's weird, like world building. I don't understand it fully.
Yeah. There is a lot of finger imagery.
A lot of finger related memes, imagery, whatever. And so of course people are gonna be making funny messages with that.
Well, one of my favorite of the messages that come in is in Elden Ring, there is this NPC that is very clearly a turtle. Like, very
the turtle
clearly
pope
a
guy?
giant turtle. And, well, there's the turtle pope, but then there's, like, I think there's other turtles as
It's
well.
just a turtle walking around, and someone comes up
very
to
clearly
it.
a turtle, yeah. And then there's anywhere you find it, there are tons of these little player left messages all around that just say, "Is this dog? Perchance dog?
Dog?
Dog? Question mark? Oh, look, dog."
Dog? Is this a dog?
You know, it just started with one person who had the wacky idea, and then everyone thought that was great and
love
left their own.
Their games, they're so good. The Dark Souls and Elden Ring.
Or like the fact that everyone, when you find a cliff that you could fall off of, someone's put a message saying like, try jumping, or jumping, or jump for secret item, and then you jump off and
Elden
die.
Ring ahead.
They're so good. All right, Kyle, hit us with your second one.
All right, second one coming up.
You only have two, so... the classic.
Classic. Press F to pay respects. I would argue that this is another meme, perhaps the one that has been the most successful in gaming to transcend the game it came from. Because this came from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which was not well
plays
received.
that game.
Yeah.
I liked the campaign for it.
The campaign, it was a neat idea, and I think that the suit abilities were fun, but like a lot of people didn't like it.
What's just so funny is that like most of the screenshots of this are just super low res.
It's true.
Like nobody has like a high res HD screenshot of Press F.
Look at this. But yeah, so what happened is like in the beginning of the story, you've got a friend who dies in battle. It's a kind of dramatic opening, and then you're at his funeral. And
quick time event.
Yeah, there's a quick time event where it's like press some button to pay respects, and on computer that default button is F. So press F to pay respects. People thought that was hilarious, so they started sharing it all over the internet.
It is now.
So it's now a meme. It's now like completely divorced from its original context. People just do F in the chat if something is sad. I think we've said that here on the podcast.
Or
you know, F in the chat for so and so.
Something bad happens.
And people will like make animated memes of like salutes and then like the letter F. And then just like I'm pretty sure this will go down in cultural history as a trend of like just. In case you're wondering why in the year 2085, in case you're wondering why great grandpa is saying F when you tell him something sad, this is why.
It's funny because like I genuinely had to explain this to my mom. The other day, like this was a couple months ago, but because like my siblings were saying like F in the chat or like or like send like an F to like a sad like to something, and like we were all sitting in the car and. My mom like asked my little brother like, what does that even mean? Like, what is this F? Like, why do you say F? And then he was like,
He didn't know.
doesn't even
I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
he's like,
see,
it's just
there's
a
so
meme.
many people who use this meme without
Yeah,
knowing
they
what
don't know
it is.
Yeah, so then I had to go in and I explained it to them. And
Have to pay
even
respect.
even my siblings who didn't know, who used the meme regularly, didn't know what it was actually
That's
from.
one of the beautiful things about
it's amazing.
memes is that like they spread beyond their context, and you just understand from the way they're used, like how to use them.
yeah.
And you get the joke without actually getting the joke.
Getting the joke.
It's this crazy thing. So anyway, this I would say is one of the ultimate
This is
gaming
one of the
memes.
ultimate
Not
gaming
because
memes.
it's like the funniest. I would say Doom Crossing
Just
was more
so
funny
much
than this.
used. It's
but
so
because
well
it's
used.
so universal.
Yeah.
So easy to use. You can put it in any context, and it just works.
It's so good.
I mean, I could say I burnt my toast this morning, and you guys could say F.
Okay.
You know?
I know even at work in our Slack channels at work at BYUTV, we've added a press F to pay respects reaction emote, and
yeah.
we use it all the time.
I'm
we
not
use
surprised
it all
to
the
see
time.
that.
It's so
I should see if I could get that in the radio chat and see how many people.
Well,
like,
it's in but it's
recognize it.
in BYU Broadcasting Slack. You
Oh, so I could just
be
start
there.
using that.
Yeah, it's-
I'm
we
gonna
have so
use
many.
that.
It's in there.
I'm
There's
gonna
a few
make
gaming
use on
ones
the
in there.
radio
That's
chat.
so funny. All right, my next one. Do the video version of the one that starts with an N.
What? What starts with an N, Aiden? Don't worry.
Court objection. Nuh-uh. The heck you mean? Nuh-uh.
And to be honest, objection as a meme.
Objection is a meme, but this
Is
is
already big.
this is like my favorite
Wait,
objection.
is this the
This is the
where- is this where it
animation that it
comes
came
from?
This is where it comes from. This is
The-
the one that we were recording the whole time
the
at your
frick you
bachelor
mean?
party.
Nuh-uh?
Well, no. So the nuh-uh originated somewhere
I know
else.
the
But yeah,
nuh-uh
the freak
thing.
you
This is
mean
an
nuh-uh
anime.
is
The frick you
this
mean
one.
nuh-uh
This is a
this.
TikTok. And the heck you mean nuh-uh?
Well, my favorite. I saw another one.
animation's
There
quite
was
good.
there was a similar
very
thing, but it was Star Wars, and it was Vader telling
I'm your father.
I'm your father, and Luke's just like nuh-uh, and Vader's just like
My favorite
nuh-uh?
use of the nuh-uh is from the Lego Clone Wars one, where Anakin and Obi-Wan are discussing. It's like, I will bring peace, freedom, and security to my new empire. And he's like, what do you mean my new empire? He's like, from my point of view, the Jedi. He goes, then you are lost. And Anakin goes, nuh-uh. And Obi-Wan goes, uh-huh, nuh-uh, yeah. And Obi-Wan goes, that's the dumbest thing I've ever
dumbest thing I've
heard.
ever heard.
You know, that phrase, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, was a favorite of my mission president.
It's so
If he ever
funny.
caught wind of someone doing something really stupid, he'd just like slap the table and be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's like nuh-uh didn't originate from gaming, but
Yeah.
like this, I
Just
think is my
using it
favorite
this
use
way.
of it. But objection is just such a funny.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like, let's be real. People have been taking Phoenix Wright, you know, like court cases. I mean, there's a website. I've used this before. Where you can just set it
Yep.
with music and sound effects and everything to play out any
there is
scene.
a Twitter bot that
yeah.
you literally go at, like, I don't remember what it, I think it's like at Wrightbot, and it will literally turn whatever Twitter thread you had into a Phoenix Wright court
Oh
scene.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Fully animated.
I know, and I love the like the ones where it's like they take like a conversation of like, is water wet? And then they
doing
just
this.
make it. It's like
Yeah.
objection.
I've seen, and like, there's actually this group that was posting this on a D&D memes subreddit for a while, where anytime they had a debate over the rules at their table, they had like each of the Phoenix Wright characters was tied to a character in the campaign, and the judge was the DM, and they would just go through the entire discussion of
It's
whether or
so
not they
funny.
could do something based on the rules
The Phoenix
or how
Wright
combat
games,
ran
it
in
just,
this.
There's just so much.
It's
there's
so good.
There's so many opportunities to just use the Phoenix
Like,
Wright
just
games.
the court scene.
The court
I mean, I've
scene.
seen YouTubers who have done entire long-running segments that's based off of this. If you
I
guys
made a
watch,
missionary video parody
did.
of Phoenix
I've
Wright.
seen that. I've seen the
Like,
video.
I literally, you by hand, like, made a Phoenix Wright, like, missionary video when I was on my mission. It's
it's
so funny.
It's so great.
It's-
This is
I love
another
it.
one that's so universally
It's
applicable.
so universally applicable. And it's like, everybody knows what I mean. If they've never played, they know what objection. It's like, oh, it's a court scene. It's
Yeah.
like, it's so good.
That's great. And I gotta say, the animation on this
I
particular
love it
version is
so
quite good. Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong, I still love the sort of like pixel art
Yeah,
or
but
the
no,
ones
it
that are
is
ripped directly
very
from
well-
the game, but
And
still.
to give it some context why this is extra funny for us, we were all just recently at Ben's bachelor party,
Which was
and like
awesome.
literally every 10 seconds someone would say
Someone-
nuh-uh, and then
we'd be like,
someone from like across the
"Freak
room
you
would be like,
mean?"
the heck you mean nuh-uh?
I actually have a great thing I'm planning on using that for later down the line. I'll have to show that to you guys when it's
So
done.
funny. All right, Court, hit us with your next one.
All right, the next one, let's do. Ooh, I'm trying to remember what I had.
While he's pulling that
Are
up,
you guys forgetting what you had?
I sent you another one. I don't know if you've had time to do anything with it, but if you can, put it in. If not, no pressure. Okay?
Let's pull up
We'll see, we'll
the
see.
stylishly dressed man in the fedora.
Oh, this is gonna be
I
great.
think I know what it is. I think
It better not be.
I have a feeling.
If it's anybody named Dante.
It is not.
Oh no!
Is that
I
Devil
think
May
I
Cry?
know. I think I have. We also have this one in the Slack channel.
thought
at
it was
BYU
Dante, but it's me,
Broadcasting.
Dio.
But it's me.
We also have this one in the Slack channel.
This one gets used all over.
We,
the
we
broadcasting
have
Slack.
this one at the broadcasting. Yep.
Press X to
Press
doubt. You gotta
X
press
to
F to
doubt.
pay respects and press X to doubt.
this is from what I understand. I believe this is from the intro to Fallout 4, where this guy is like a salesman, and then and then like it's just his face and just the
look on his face.
Press X to doubt.
I mean, yeah, just that you can have that as an option. The look on his face is like, oh, he is pressing X to doubt right
is
now.
pressing-
It's so good. It is so. We have this one at
This is
BYU
such
Broadcasting as well.
This is another one that has definitely transcended
Yeah.
just the realm of gaming to where just anytime you have something you doubt, you just you take a picture of that and you put this right below it.
Press
to doubt.
X to doubt.
so good.
And this one isn't one where it can like necessarily stand on its own. Like you don't just like press X. Like with the F meme, like you can just press F with
Yeah,
no
no,
other
this one you
context.
need
need
This
the
one you
picture.
need like
You
this
need
guy's
the
face
Doubt.
makes it. Like
That is so true.
It is so true. This one, we've got two cultural.
I genuinely
Some really good.
think that this is probably the best thing to come out of Fallout 4 as an entirety.
The only things that I like get a laugh out of Fallout 4 as well are like the cutscenes where it's like they're engaged in dialogue, but there's like an enemy. The video where it's like the enemy is just like beating the crap out of like the NPC during the dialogue, and the dialogue keeps continuing.
The only other meme
seen
I could
that
think of
before.
that came from 4 is, there's like the Preston Garvey or whatever his name is, who's like, another settlement needs your help, like...
Hey, I
but-
just met you, and this is crazy, but another settlement needs your help. Yeah,
but
I've
it's,
seen
but
that.
it's not anywhere near as iconic.
I saw
as
a great one that was like, it was this animated thing from a YouTube channel I used to watch that did these funny animations that was about like friendship in the wasteland. It's like, first we need to clear up some myths about friendship.
Pymations.
Yeah, Pymations. Friendship is a myth. In the wasteland, everyone wants you dead. Friends are nothing more than meat shields, and they'll gladly take the
my
bullet for you.
gosh.
But then it moves on to, speaking of friends, man's best friend. And it's talking about how, like, your dog is indestructible. They'll do
just
anything for you.
blows up.
The only problem is they will block the door, preventing necessary escape routes. And got, like, the dog just standing in the doorway. This guy's, like, doing the run animation, trying to get out of the room. Meanwhile, an enemy is loading the little nuke launcher right in the doorway. And then he, like, launches it, and it cuts right after it leaves the launcher. It's like, just remember to kick him to get him out of the door. And it was ridiculous and definitely a little like just,
That's so.
it was hilarious though, and
All
it was
right.
like in this old timey film
Oh,
reel
yeah,
style.
yeah, those are always funny. All right, Ben.
Yeah, what did you get?
Did we get the note one to work? No,
Aw,
unfortunately.
man.
Here, I'll just play it here then.
Oh, is it audio? Oh, probably
It's
because you wanted
audio.
audio. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, audio is
Oh, it's muted by.
waiting. Waiting.
Hold on, let me just do this then.
And then Kyle, do you have a third
Yeah,
one?
you go
I
ahead.
sent another one
Okay.
in. Were you able to
She's
get it
able
up?
Get it in.
Oh, dope! You're
Okay.
awesome. Here we go.
We'll use yours as Ben figures this out. What's Kyle's?
I didn't ask how big the room is. I said I cast Fireball. This is a D&D meme.
Okay.
We're gonna get to that in a second. That's gonna be great.
I got it to work.
All right,
Yay.
there is another duplicate
There we go.
Oh,
that's a
Oh, there is
okay.
duplicate?
I also
well, then we'll have a visual that can be
Love
pulled
visual.
up. Then. Anyways,
But okay, so I figured I should include some tabletop memes in this because so basically there have been memes that just create these meme archetypes for every D&D class, right? And the wizard is just I cast Fireball, which is this big explosion.
Fireball.
Yeah, nothing
Fireball.
but fireball, just
Fireball.
fireball.
Lightning.
Exactly.
Fireball.
It's like, and so the joke is that the wizard is going to cast Fireball even if you were in a broom closet. Even if it hits the entire party, doesn't matter. The wizard is casting Fireball.
I think I've seen a video of that one.
Oh yeah, and there's a bunch of others like this. You know, like the bard that's trying to romance everything in
Everything.
sight. There's the what is it? The paladin who's like either the fun police or trying to smite heretics, which I think is derived from Warhammer.
Yeah,
actually.
probably.
Yeah. You've
I
got
actually considered
the
adding the heresy detected memes
heresy.
from
Yeah,
Oh,
but-
that's a
yeah,
good
that
one.
one's-
That's a
those
good
are all
one.
funny.
There's like different ones for the barbarian. There's the fighter just being kind of boring. Like you pick this if you don't know what to do, and so on and so forth. There's a whole slew of them, but this one I think is the most iconic, aside from the bard one. But this one, it had a visual that I was more
That could
apt
work.
to have for the podcast. So, yeah. Anyway, you can get this on T-shirts, by the way. It's great.
Very cool.
And so
All
I
right,
guess
well, I
let's
guess
let's make
pull up
Court's
Court's
visual.
graphic
Yeah, pull
for my favorite genre of music,
Here we go.
Megalovania.
Let's go.
Like the fact that y'all knew
One
what it
note,
was.
literally
One note.
one note.
One note we knew it was
Shows
Megalovania.
how iconic this
There
has
aren't many
become over time.
there aren't many songs in gaming where you can play one note. And
There
you're
aren't
like,
many
"Oh, I
songs,
know what it is."
period.
Period.
Today we're going to be playing through 4-player Undertale.
What's that?
I don't know. I guess I decided to be on autoplayer today.
Wait, but we gotta play the whole song. Well, not the
Well,
whole song.
No, we
not the
don't.
whole song.
No, we don't.
I
But,
might
like,
put
what
it
about
Did you
the-
guys know that in Tears of the Kingdom, there are these things called spikes? They're one of the Zonai devices.
Oh, yeah.
And you can put them into objects, and depending on how far in they are, they'll make different notes if they get
you
hit.
make that-
So someone has already figured out how to play Megalovania on
Oh
them.
yeah, and yeah, there's
Yeah, I've
a
seen
whole
the
bunch
clip.
of songs
That is,
played.
it's like my favorite genre of music, Megalovania.
It is, but I wanted to add Sans in here beyond just
Yeah,
Megalovania,
Sans is
because
also-
Sans is
Yeah.
also a meme.
as a
Character.
character is a meme and is the face of
meme and the
Undertale.
face
But
of Undertale.
just like the bad jokes, the funny lines, but then also just like his concept as a character who is like on the surface level, and when you first meet him, like completely goofy and
Goofy,
like.
bland, not really bland, but
But
just
like goofy and just kind of like,
defenseless.
you know,
Then you go to his backstory,
and then you go to his
it's like,
backstory, and it's just this.
He might be
huge, like,
Ness from Earthbound. Like,
no, like, but like, and he's just like this, like, you know, like timeline traveling, like this super, and then, like he ends
a
up being
tragic,
like the
like-
hardest boss in the game, like where at the end, like if you do the evil route, he is the final boss, and he just wipes the floor with you, like.
Yeah.
Like he is just such a fascinating character,
I've
and then
heard some
just
like
such a
great
funny
discussions
guy.
where people say like he's not inherently the most powerful creature. It's just that he's the last one left, and so his determination is unmatched, and that's why he's the hardest boss, or stuff like that.
Yeah, or just like, yeah, like he's just like
all this crazy stuff.
he's just Sans, like
He's just
and
Sans.
he's just
Sans
so-
Undertale.
Sans. Oh yeah, of course.
It's just like Undertale as a game is just
Has
so full
spawned
of
quite a bit of
memes.
things.
Oh yeah.
But Megalovania is the peak
Megalovania.
of
Like people are putting Megalovania into everything.
Everything.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, this actually kind of reminds me of like basically the question is, but can it play Megalovania? Can you play Megalovania with it?
It is
It's
literally
kind of
the
like-
Doom of
exactly.
music.
I was about to say like, can it run Doom?
Can it run
because
Doom?
the
Can
original
it-
Doom from
can you-
1993, people have run that on a TI-84.
People have run on a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Yeah, people ran that on a pregnancy
On
test.
printers.
On
and-
printers,
like,
yeah,
so
MS
you have,
Paint.
can it run Doom
Can it
or
run
can
Doom?
it play
Can it play
Megalovania?
Megalovania?
Well, it's
stuff like this, like where, like people, I love people just cutting things at the perfect moment to make it
perfectly cut. Yeah.
like completely, but like making it a completely different meaning. So there's this one scene with Doofenshmirtz.
Oh, here we go.
Perry the platypus is out of the picture. I'm Perry free for the rest of the day. I'm Sans.
I'm Sans.
or I love no,
Sans
like
Undertale.
that's totally a thing where like and then they edit it so that like their skin is like bone white
goes
and then they
white,
have the
and
little
then the
blue
boss
Sans
eye.
eye that he gets when he like one of my favorites is like it's like I can't remember the whole context of it, but he's like
That's amazing.
It's like Larry and Bob from VeggieTales.
Oh,
and he's
Oh,
just like
man.
and Larry says like something something similar where they cut it off. He's like, "I'm Sans," and then it's just like, and then it's just Larry, but he's like completely white and has the blue Sans eye. Like,
That is amazing.
Oh,
It is-
I love Undertale.
it is the best.
That is so good. I'm so glad you brought that up, guys.
I'm glad you got that. All right, so now, kind of on a similar note, do the video version of the one that starts. Actually, I only have one left. The video one that starts with an A, I believe, or maybe it's
Aiden.
yeah.
Hey, it's for Aiden.
Aiden
Hey,
commits
it's for
war
Aiden.
crimes.
Commit war crimes. I've come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog is
the Sonic
the Sonic real-time fan.
You guys have seen us make so many references to this. Things like I have 70 alternative accounts.
I am now Sans
I have
Undertale.
come
I'm to my eye.
come to my eyes. I've come to make an announcement. That's all from the
I
Sonic
miss my
real-time
wife,
fandom.
Tails. I miss her a lot. I'll be back.
On my Twitter.com.
Come.
Yeah, have we explained what this is in case our viewers
So
don't
for
know?
anybody who lacks the critical information, I don't remember who
lacks the deep lore.
There's this group, or maybe it's just one YouTuber, but who has a group called Snapcube. And what they've done with a group of their buddies is they've gone through all of the Sonic games. Maybe not.
They started with Sonic
They
Adventure
started
2.
with Sonic Adventure 2, and then they've done Sonic Riders, Sonic Heroes, Sonic
06.
I think they've done Unleashed in Colors and Generations, but I'm not sure.
They're working their way up.
They
to it, I
literally,
think.
all they do is they go through all of the cutscenes in there, and
some
they
of the boss
mute,
fights.
and some of the boss fights, and they have no voices, and sometimes they keep the sound effects and music, but sometimes it's just completely mute, and they just no script, just ad-libbing the whole thing, improving characters.
Each of them takes a few characters and they just improv the story.
And they just improv the story.
And I will say, like, I've seen clips, and not all of them are hits. Like,
No,
and
not all of them are
obviously,
hits.
It's not like consistently hilarious.
But the ones that are hits,
the ones that are hits are hilarious,
so
and the one
good.
that is consistently hilarious is the guy who consistently voices Eggman.
The Eggman voice,
He's the star of the show every
everything he
time.
says.
Every comedy gold. I mean, the guy is
So
just like
much every
so
time.
like, especially considering that none of it is scripted and he's just making it up as he goes.
Yeah, like there was a time where he didn't even know the story of the games ahead of time. So
Listen here, you blue flocks and you hot topic wannabe. If you don't get off this island, I'm gonna blow it up.
and then they're like, that's what actually happens, right?
He's
He's
like,
like, what?
really?
And then the
And then it
island
blows
blows up, and he's like, no way!
No way!
Which is really funny when you see them get surprised by the game.
And they're all just laughing. You just hear them trying not to laugh. It's like, where are we going? We're going to the Denny's. I need to get my grand slam.
Or like the part where the guy who's doing Knuckles didn't know that the line was about to end, so he's like, well, and then Knuckles stops talking, and he just has to stop talking, and everyone just loses
They
it.
just don't know. Tails, tell us all about it. Okay, bye. Just runs off.
What's the one where he's like, welcome to my gamer?
Yeah, that was from Sonic 06. Welcome to my gamer pad. As you can see, there are no girls here because I get friend zoned so frequently. I'd like to have friends. That sounds nice. You'd think it would, but it's not.
Tell us to it. Tell us to it. Tails in excruciating detail.
They just have such great moments.
So this is the legendary Tilted Towers.
My name is
Memphis, Tennessee.
Quick, Omega, count how many sands there are.
1, 2, 3.
Count how many mouths he has. I can find no exactly. You got no mouths.
It's just the randomest stuff. And then the one where they did Shadow the Hedgehog, where they made the villain
gotta
like,
find
I am literally the devil, like from the Bible. How have I not impressed this upon you yet? You can't kill me.
He's like, I gotta find how to wait it. Whoa! And he just TPs away.
When he gets teleported away. Or the general who's like, oh yeah, I need to upgrade my audio equipment, and then cocks a pistol. He's like, I have upgraded my audio equipment. Just such randomness, but so
the Sonic
funny.
fan dubs. Basically, the best way to watch them is just watch the montage of the best moments because, like,
I don't know. I ended up watching them all the way through
Well, 'cause,
because
like, watching,
sometimes
like,
they're
the-
even better in context.
sometimes they're better in context, but it's like sometimes people he's like, I don't want to sit and watch 2 hours of things that may
I
not
just
be
watch
hits.
it while I'm walking places.
But they're just because out of they're just so. He goes, fresh them down the turret.
you flushed them down the turret.
Literally, but I mean, if you really want the true experience, just watch like a compilation of the best of Alfred, what's his name?
I don't
Alfred
remember.
something
As
as Dr.
Dr.
Eggman.
Eggman.
Because like
the funny thing
his
is,
Eggman stuff is
it
all
became.
gold.
They actually discovered this. They did one where someone took an AI model and had it write a script for a Sonic game, and it named it Sonic Destruction. And then they did a dub where they read through it with their character voices. And the funny thing is, they found out because again, this AI thing pulled from a bunch of like
Oh, it
Sonic
pulled
fan
more
fictions
from
that
the-
had been like
And
written.
their lines.
The character they improv for Eggman has influenced the community so much that the AI was emulating his personality in the script it wrote for a Sonic game. It was so great, and they acknowledged this while they were doing the dub. How do you like that, Obama? Yeah, like that line.
I'm gonna go
Stuff like that.
higher. It's so good. The fan dubs are. If you want a good laugh, just go watch the Sonic fan dubs. They're so good. Oh man.
Yeah.
Corey,
he's
do you have
great.
a final one? Does anyone have any more?
I do have one.
Okay, Corey.
Okay,
What's your
let's go.
final?
It is space.
Yes.
No, not that space.
No.
Although we should also talk about
We
that.
should also talk
We'll do
about
honorable
that.
mentions.
Moose.
This
Among Us is.
Among Us is a dead meme for sure, but
Is it though?
kind of.
People
It's
keep
not
bringing
really,
it back
it's-
up.
It keeps coming back up. It's kind of a zombified meme, but it's
We call that
it's too
necroposting
big
on the
in the
internet.
scene. It's too big in the scene to not bring up here. I mean, we've
It's
even
true.
got a little hidden Among Us guy. We've been hiding him around the set every episode.
That's true.
It's Among Us. Like, it took off in popularity, and my favorite version of the Among Us meme is finding things in
That
the
look
real
like-
world
that look
like
that
little
just look
astronauts.
vaguely like Among Us.
Is that Among Us?
And then just being like Among Us,
Among
like-
Us.
like,
Yeah.
it is.
We've beaten this one to death.
Yeah,
That's,
and
that's
this
a
one's
meme that I
been
both
beaten
love
to
and
death.
hate.
Yeah, it's
You
been beaten
know,
to death, but
I also like
you know
the,
this has gone too far. When I think it was in 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, wasn't it said on like a news broadcast?
Well, President, or I guess as Elder Uchtdorf gave a talk about some,
right, he did.
and it was something about something where he said Among Us like 30 times.
the title of the talk was God Among Us, and it was supposed to be like that God is among us at all times, and
But
like
of
this
course,
nice wholesome
and
He's
message.
been poisoned.
yeah, of course.
The internet was not going to let that sit still.
It is, it is still to this day a thing that my siblings and I will do, where we will keep track of how many times Among Us is
Or
said
sus or something
is
is
said
said.
in
Sus.
general conference. Every time general conference goes on, like we'll just be listening, and then it'll just be like someone in general conference will say Among Us, and like,
Oh
me and
my
my little
gosh.
brother will just like look at each other from across the room, with just like Among Us, and it's so
Sister
dead
Bonnie
now.
Corden's a little sus today.
Like, it's so dead now, but
Oh
it's
my
just,
goodness.
but it's
But like, and that's not the only meme
why-
that's come out of there. Sus. People say
Yeah,
sus
sus.
instead of
Emergency
suspicious.
meeting.
Emergency meeting,
Emergency
or like
meeting.
you know, there is an
Venting.
imposter
There's an
among us. Like
imposter.
the like you know opening part when you
I
get into
mean-
the level like crewmate. There is one imposter among us. Then you like put a bunch
too
of things
much,
where
it's too
one of them
much.
is
My
it's the newest
opening
iteration of one of these things is not like the others.
Your opening, literally.
My
Yeah,
cold
opening-
open 2 weeks ago was
yeah,
literally that.
was
Like
us
Among Us
doing
thing,
it. Yeah.
and it's like no one even plays Among Us anymore. Like I haven't played Among Us in
But the meme will never
Like,
die. It is a
forever.
The
zombie.
meme will
You
stick
know.
around. It's definitely ingrained in our memory, whether we like it or not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough of this, Ben. What do we
Okay.
got?
I'll just do the last one. There's a nice. I got 3 more, but they're all
Wait,
kind
more.
of-
We'll get one more.
Yeah,
and
one
we'll do
more.
honorable
Can
mentions.
you do the one with the wings?
Oh, wings. This ought to be good. Having played this game, this is true. It's a dude with fairy wings, dual-wielding AK-47s,
I
and
feel
that
like
is Terraria.
if there's anything that amplifies what the essence of Terraria is, it's this.
Yeah, but he needs to be fighting a giant pigfish, you know? That would make it even
Well,
better.
that's you can't see, but it's off screen. That's where he's all going
Oh,
off
okay,
to.
there we go.
Ah, okay.
Because you can literally do this. There's an item in the game that looks like there's a couple assault rifle items in the game, and then there's a pair of fairy wings that'll let you fly.
It's just
That's a good one.
Terraria is a fever.
Terraria is such a fun
It
game
goes
where you
off
can
the-
mix anything. You know,
With
you
anything.
flying around with a jetpack, but you just got a spear that you're swinging around.
It's true. It's so true.
I love just the meme
No
text
further
up at the
context,
top.
just Terraria. It's like, this is the game. That's so true, though.
Now this is Terraria. You play as John
John
Terraria.
Terraria.
John Terraria.
Play as John Minecraft.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, does anyone have anyone that they like really
Honorable
want to show before we
mentions?
go on honorable mentions?
Well, I guess I don't have a visual for this,
I
but
guess we can go back to the logo on the screen. We'll
yeah.
just pop
But
out.
thinking with portals.
Portal is
That's one that I feel like is never going to truly die. It's just not as big as it has been. But like,
I use- yeah.
you know, I mean, that was something that was said in the early trailers before the game. Like, now you're thinking
Now
with
you're
portals,
thinking with
and that
portals.
became a whole thing in the community. Like, people would give advice of like, how do I solve this puzzle? And we notice that someone's not using the portals very well. We got to say, you need to learn to think with portals.
Portal and Portal 2
Understand.
just as a whole. GLaDOS is
GLaDOS.
a walking
Yeah,
just meme.
GLaDOS and Wheatley are both
Oh,
meme.
huge memes. But like,
Literally
I've seen like,
machines.
you ever seen that one picture? I couldn't get the visual for this, and I would have needed to censor it anyway because some people swear in it, and it's got a bunch of text, so I would have had to black that out. And I just didn't have time. But this person took a picture of there's this entrance into a building, and right above it is this nice balcony with like a chair and tables, but there's no way to get onto the balcony. And so the person's like, yeah, they just built this like nice spot with no way to get to it. And one of the first replies to it, it was a Tumblr post, was, "You're just not thinking with portals." And then other people were like, double jump or like wall
Yeah,
hop,
it's
you know,
just like
all gaming related
Anything,
things.
anytime GLaDOS, it says right here, you're a useless, you're a terrible person.
We weren't even testing
We
for
weren't even
that.
testing for that. And then just
Or-
like the recordings of parents, we never loved you, and we wanted to let you go. Wow, that really sucks. I have to calculate the faithplate to your generousness.
Or like the cake is a lie. That
Well,
became
that
a
one's
meme
kind
for a
of
while.
beaten to yeah. That one's
Yeah, that one's I think gonna be less
like
evergreen.
Portal 2 is where all of the good ones, like anything. He's like, I'm just reading books. Can't be an idiot.
Playing Mozart.
Playing Mozart. Can't be an idiot.
And then of course we need to do the Space Core.
Oh yeah, the Space Core.
But even
Like-
all of the core is like, ugh, What's up, little lady? Looks like you need some help.
Yeah, the Adventure Corps.
Looks like you need some help, little lady. Would you like me to give you some assistance?
Or the one that, like, even though it was a robot, it still sounded like it was frothing at the mouth.
But yeah,
The
there's
one that gives out
randomness.
random facts.
Yeah,
and stuff.
not the random facts. The one with like the red eye that was like twitching. And
Fact, Babe Ruth entered a hot dog eating contest and then died of hot dog poisoning.
He's like, right.
The space one is the best one.
Space
the
one
best
is the
one.
best
Where are we
one.
going? Where are we going?
But then there's
Space.
Everything about Cave Johnson, though.
Cave Johnson,
Oh, yeah.
You know, actually, get this. I got a work opportunity that I still do because I can do a Cave Johnson impression.
It's just so
Have I told you guys this? I think I've told you I'm a voice actor for this company called Infinity Learning Solutions. They kind of do this like space camp simulation thing where you take it into
Oh
your
yeah,
classroom.
you want Cave Johnson.
Yeah, and I applied for the thing, just sent in some like audition tapes for several of the characters, and they're like, hey, your one for the narrator was good, but we already have someone who we've been planning on for that. We haven't had anyone audition for this character. We're kind of imagining he's got a personality like, do you know Cave Johnson? I'm like, yeah, I know Cave Johnson. He's like, can you do a
Jonah
Cave Johnson
Jameson.
impression? And I'm like, let's see, you dare give me lemons? No, that's not my
the
best one. It
lemon
was,
rant is
That was
so
good, though. That
I
was-
love.
yeah, like my Cave Johnson
you've
impression
got that
became this character.
J.K.
His name
Simmons
is
voice.
Calix California, and he's like a slightly modified version of a Cave Johnson
He is.
impression.
It's just so good. It's like the bad news is that all of the test subjects turn into mantis men. But the good news is we've got a new job. Step up to the green line and tank a rifle. You'll know when the test begins.
The
You'll
new
know
test
when
is
the
hunting mantis men. You'll know when the
You'll
test
know
begins.
when the test begins.
By the way, you're in the control group. That means you get the bounce gel. The last port sap got blue paint. Broke every bone in his legs. Sad, but informative, or so I'm told.
Apparently, my researchers have told me that moon rocks are poisonous. So the bad news is I have moon rock poisoning.
They told me that I need to stop making these pre-recorded messages. You know what that makes me want to do?
Make
more
more
pre-recorded
pre-recorded
messages.
messages.
I pay the bills around here.
Say goodbye, Carolyn. Goodbye, Carolyn. She's a doll.
Yes, and then him and Carolyn interacting was just so great.
Everything about Cave Johnson. He's just so.
It's one of the most iconic characters.
Yeah, I love
Portal
J.K.
is
Simmons.
literally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is the best. But Portal is literally. I mean, it is a game made by its characters.
It is the
because, like, I mean, well, the gameplay is amazing.
gameplay is
but,
amazing,
like, there
yeah.
are so few characters that each
they're so
one
good.
is just absolutely stellar. I mean, in Portal 2, I mean, you look Wheatley, GLaDOS, and
Cave
Cave.
Johnson.
Those are pretty much
Those
the
are
only
so
three
good.
speaking
Well,
characters.
you still have the turrets, and you do have the
And
one
the
like
turrets,
philosophical turret that tells you the story of Prometheus if you save it.
Well,
from
no, but then there's like the
production
effective
line.
data. Now's my big chance. And
then it blows up.
It blows up.
But like they really go all in on making all of those characters just
No, they're
iconic
so
good.
because like there are only a few of them that really speak, and yeah, it's
And
just
yet every single,
so
not
good.
a single
I
line
love
is wasted.
Portal and Portal 2 are just the
Just
quintessential.
so well
just
made. And then the
video
gameplay,
games.
of course, is
I'm
obviously
speaking in
fantastic.
an accent that
that's
is beyond her range of
hearing.
hearing.
Little ball, I can still hear you.
So much for that plan. Run!
Run!
So good.
Just the number
He
of
is
times
not
it
just an idiot. He is the result of all of the greatest minds of a generation working together to create the biggest idiot who ever lived. And you just put him in charge of the facility.
Why do we have to leave now?
Oh my goodness.
You
The
just
part
hear
where
the
Wheatley
shift.
turns evil. The music turned at that moment.
Oh, yeah.
Was
Let there be light. That was God. I was quoting God.
Oh yeah. When he's trying to prove he's smart.
It's just so
Okay,
Anyway.
if you don't have any brain damage, say apple.
You jump.
Okay, so you jumped.
So you jumped.
Say apple. Okay, so bad news is you might have
a mild case of
minor
severe
case of
brain
brain
damage. It's like, it wasn't my fault the power turned off. What am I supposed to tell them when they come in to check and everyone's turned into a bunch of flippin' vegetables?
Portal's so much fun. I also just love, even though it's like it's a video game now, but it was originally just all the Yu-Gi-Oh memes. Just
Oh,
it's
my
time to
goodness.
duel,
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh spawned off quite a
and
few
then it's
great
like
memes.
I summon Pot of Green.
Oh my goodness.
to draw two more cards from my deck to then use Pot of Green.
We're going
Yeah.
down a meme rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
but yeah, let's bring it back
It's
to any
so
more
good.
honorable mentions from gaming originated or related memes.
Oh, you've got all of the classics from just like your Princess in Another
Princess in
Castle.
Another Castle.
It's dangerous out there. Take this.
Yes, that's
It's
true.
a
I have
secret
that
to
on a shirt.
everybody.
Secret to everybody.
Yeah.
Just all the originals.
Yeah, a bunch of classic ones.
I will say a couple.
All
a
your
couple,
base are belong to
All
us.
your
All your
bases
bases belong
belong
to
to us.
I will say there's a couple honorable mentions that I had thought of. The oof sound effect.
Oh, the
in
From
Roblox,
yeah.
when you die.
Oof.
Oof. I can't even do
That's
it.
been used a lot.
You died from.
You died.
died.
The Yoda death sound from
The
Lego
Yoda-
Star
Lego
Wars.
Star Wars Yoda death sound. The other one that I wanted to pull up a visual of, but I couldn't really find like a good like visual that wasn't a video was the Master Chief, mind telling
To
me what you're doing
there?
And then
Sir.
X and then
Oh man, imagine
Like,
someone
sir.
turning in a picture version of that one.
Master Chief, mind
Oh,
telling me what you're doing on that wall? Sir.
Sir,
Security camera.
Oh yeah, no.
Or like-
whoever uploaded that one must have been really.
Just now, there it is. Nice, Ben.
That's amazing. Security camera.
Or like that Master
like
Chief,
the-
mind telling me what you're doing in the nurse's office? Sir, I threw up.
Or like
My
the Master
tummy
Chief
hurts.
voice
The
emulator
AI
memes.
voice. Master
like
Chief
Master
teaches you how to
Chief
change the oil on your
2004
2004.
Nissan Altima, or Master Chief teaches you how to file your taxes.
Nissan tells you that everything's gonna be okay.
Like voice emulators brought a whole new dimension to gaming. memes.
We've talked about it before, but just the AI presidents playing literally anything.
Playing, mostly Minecraft, but like that's been
Even the
such a
Wii
great
Sports
series on
is
YouTube.
so good.
Another classic in the I guess the meme is you got to go with the Minecraft like music, like
the-
TNT Fallen
Yeah.
Kingdom, you know, like
Oh
those,
yes, all the Minecraft music parodies and then
Mine
eventually
Away, you know,
original
like-
songs.
My name.
like all the good and the bad
Good
Minecraft
and bad
fan
Minecraft
songs,
fan
you know.
songs.
Oh my goodness.
That's
And
definitely
then just the
Honestly,
villager noise.
Villager noises,
Huh.
and honestly, just Minecraft animations
Minecraft
in general,
Yeah.
have gone from like stupid but kind of funny to amazing.
To, like,
I've seen some-
incredible,
Have you guys
like-
watched Songs of War?
Songs of War. is
That
very
one was
good.
incredible. It's like a movie length one that honestly wouldn't even need to be Minecraft, but that's what they chose to animate it with, and it has some of the best like animated fight choreography I've ever seen. It's
Songs
so
of
cool.
Ferb, I know what I'm gonna do today.
Right? Like that's yeah.
Then there's I used to be an adventure until I took an arrow to the
Oh,
moon.
yeah.
Oh, we can't forget that
They
one.
reference that several times in Starfield.
Yeah,
Like,
I would.
That's
Yeah, but
amazing.
Like
Yeah,
one of the
totally.
like sometimes you'll run into random NPCs that'll be like, I used to be a space explorer like you, until you know it's too long a story. Never mind.
That's amazing.
And then-
and there's like you're finally awake.
You're finally
It's
awake.
become a
You're
huge
finally
bait and
the
switch meme.
Good morning.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, Mr. Gordon, the Half-Life.
Welcome, Mr. Gordon.
yeah.
Yep.
And then my final honorable mention is just all of the Instagram and TikTok reels of just NPCs, like Oblivion NPCs, of them just like
yeah.
clipping into things and just walking. It's a fine day, isn't it? And there's like walking
Stop,
away with
you
the
violated the
Stop,
law.
You violated the law.
And people do a lot of that with Team Fortress characters. There's way too many
Oh,
Team
the Team
Fortress
Fortress
games to get
games.
into.
Team Fortress.
All
You
the
can just
Team
throw those
Fortress.
into anything and make a
Anything.
joke.
Well, any final on?
Ooh,
I think-
one final.
Okay, last one.
Last one.
Last one. The challenger approaching
Oh,
from Smash
yep.
Bros.
Or everyone
yes.
or everyone's
We would've been
here,
so
or
remiss
like
not to
some,
mention
yeah,
that.
or like who's getting added to Smash, or like the random character.
Or even just on the
Like,
same line, the
Sans
who's
is
that
getting-
Pokemon? Like
yeah.
those like
Those
silhouette
types of
ones, just
silhouette
like
ones.
someone's coming. Who is it?
Yeah.
Those ones are amazing.
Those are good. That's a good one. That's a good honorable mention to end
I feel
on.
like when someone announces they're going to run for president, they should just announce it with a challenger
Challenger
approach.
Challenger approaching.
Especially if they're from a third party, you know. That'd be great. That'd be great.
All right. I think that's all.
That is
Any
everything.
final things before we call it a day?
League of Legends World Championship. I'm having lots of fun
Going on
watching
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
The Fortnite Champion Series. The Fortnite.
Oh right, yeah,
Fortnite
that's
World
also going on.
Champion
I
Series
think the
Cup
OSU
thing
World
is-
Cup is also going
I
on
think
right
it
now.
actually just ended. The
It
Fortnite
did end.
Cup.
Okay, I'll keep an eye
I
on
couldn't
that
tell
for
you
my
who
article.
won though
Fortnite.
because
I can tell people who won
I
in a
don't
few
care.
weeks when I write my article. I think the
I'm
OSU
not-
World Cup is going on
stuff
right now.
on
We actually have a
esports.
BYU student who's representing Team Mongolia for that.
Hey.
Fun fact.
Wow.
That's cool.
Mongolia.
Go-
Yeah.
Who's the student? Do you know?
I don't remember his name, but I just
It's me.
Ah, yeah, Quartz
Okay.
Mongolian guys. But yeah,
Didn't
we
you
have,
know?
a,
You
we
can't
have a
tell.
BYU student participating in the OSU World Cup. So
Yeah.
that's
Go BYU student.
BYU,
Good on
BYU
you.
representation
Rooting for
because we can't
Mongolia.
do it ourselves. We'll leave it at that. All right, Kyle, take us out.
Knights of the D-Pad is an official publication of the Daily Universe. We'd like to give a special thanks to Alan Neves, Miles Romney, and Melissa Gibbs for everything they did and do to help support us and continue to do this podcast. We'd also like to give a special thanks to Jason and Lillian, who've been working behind the scenes. They're both awesome, and we're excited to continue working with both of them. Also, if you would like to reach out to us with feedback, ideas for topics, or just to say hello, comment on whatever platform you're viewing or listening to this on, and shoot us an email at knightsofthedpadpodcast@gmail.com. Scott, you know who you
Keep
are.
it sending. Keep it coming.
Scott,
You know who you
are.
With that, let's sign off. My name is Kyle,
I'm Aiden.
I'm Court.
And I'm Ben.
and we are the Knights of the D-Pad. See you next time.